Good Saturday evening or afternoon, depending on where you are living at. But it is SWAC Football Saturday. And I'm back in the Boom Boom Room after a 2-week vacation because I've been on the road going to different football games, different stadiums, different arenas, meeting people, having a real good time. But I'm back in there in the Boom Boom Room, and we got a little crunk today. I got me a couple of friends with me, of course, Light, and I got me some old good food to tailgate with. Let's get look at that. That is tortillas, but it's crawfish tails, ground beef, and shrimp in there. So I'm gonna eat good, and we're gonna actually enjoy this game today. So before we get into the game, got a few minutes, about 5 minutes to the Jackson State UAPB game starts. If the game is not hitting too well, I will switch it over to the what is it, a Magic City Classic, Alabama A&M versus Alabama State. Been to that game a couple of times. About 56,000 to show up there. Still wish they could have had that game in each other stadium, but hey, it is what it is, man. Let's check out the stats, not stats, the standings in the SWAC. All right, let's get it bigger so you can see it. Go to full screen. All right, in the East, it's no secret. Alabama, Florida A&M is 5-0, 6-1 overall. Got a 5-game winning streak. It's just about over with. You know, big girl, she done tuned up her bus for the East, and she about to start blowing them pipes. Followed by Jackson State at 3-2. Alabama A&M 2-2, Alabama State 2-2. Now, if Alabama State can win this game, they will be in second place. They hold a tiebreak over Jackson State. Then followed by Valley and Bethune. Wow. The West, the Wild West. Man, they're going to have to pull out that old calculator to figure this one out. Who wants to win the West? Southern 3-1, Alcorn 3-1, Prairie View 3-1, Grambling 2-2, Texas Southern 1-3, and Pine Bluff 0-4. So those first four teams, you're not even out of it. Southern, Alcorn, Prairie View, and Grambling, you still in it. Wow. But that's where the standings are right now. So I'm willing to bet the Bayou Classic just might decide this. Just might. I'm not saying it will. Just might. Or it may be Alcorn versus Jackson State. Never know. Because I'm pretty sure that some folks in the West really want Alcorn to lose to Jackson State. Only because it give their school a better chance of winning the West. So this is up. It's sad that it's up for grabs, but then it's damn good. Because when I say sad, I don't think any of them want to damn win, if you ask me. But hey, we shall see though. Now, getting back to the games of the day. Come on now, get out of there. Which we have a full SWAC lineup. And it should be a good one. You got Bethune taking on Grambling. It's homecoming. And salutes everybody that's coming back to campus for homecoming and showing them how it's supposed to look every weekend. So right now, and if somebody can challenge me on this, it's only 2 games that have been sold out at a SWAC stadium. Only 2 games that have been sold out. That's Southern versus Jackson State and Valley versus Jackson State. So it looks like if you want to sell out, bring Jackson State. We'll see what Arkansas Pine Bluff got up in there. It is what it is, you know. Now Bethune and Grambling is playing. Jackson State and Pine Bluff is playing. Now this game here, so bring back some good memories. Valley versus Alcorn. Next football season, I will be doing a special tribute to the greatest SWAC football game, or hell with it, the greatest college football game ever. Valley versus Alcorn, 1984. Wow. Alabama State, Alabama A&M. Prairie View, FAMU, homecoming. Texas Southern University. See if Southern can get another sellout. I doubt it, but we shall see. So that's all I got for the games. I'm not predicting anybody to win or anything like that today. Like I said, I've been on the road for the last 2 weeks, but I'm in here to start streaming, and once we get this thing cracking back up, it's gonna be turned back up, all the way up. So I hope everybody's having a great and safe weekend, and I will be updating the scores throughout the thing. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started.
Jackson State is trying to win its third consecutive title. Let's take a look at the standings now and see where these two teams stack up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you look at the East, it's a big day for Jackson State. They need some help from Florida A&M, a loss really, because if Florida A&M gets a win and Alabama A&M loses, Florida A&M will lock up the East.
Yeah, and an entirely different story over in the West. Prairie View, Alcorn State, and Southern all at 3-1. We could go down to the final week in the season right there. And, of course, as for our game today, it's going to be a wet one. But also, Jackson State will be without a couple of key players. Irv Mulligan and Rico Powers are unable to go today.
Yeah, that's a lot of firepower for them. Those guys are electric, make big plays, so they'll have to figure out a way for someone else to step up.
And where are they going to go? They're going to go to their big quarterback, who's making his second start of the year for Jackson State. That would be Jacobian Morgan. He's number 15, and he's a load, running and passing.
Yeah, he's a big guy out there. He certainly likes to get things done. 248 yards total on the season, 141 yards passing last week, and 175 yards rushing, 107 overall. The guy is dangerous with his feet, so we'll see how electric he is and how he puts that together. He threw to 9 different receivers last week.
On the other side, for Arkansas Pine Bluff, we have Chancellor Edwards. This young man, making his second start of the year, has passed for 3 touchdowns over his last 2 starts.
Yeah, and he's going to need some help. He needs some guys to step up. And the big key for him today is when he gets an opportunity, he's got to connect. He's got to be on target. He can't let opportunities go today. We'll see where he is today.
That is Jackson State's head coach, T.C. Taylor. He's in his first season as head coach of the Tigers. Of course, he actually played at Jackson State, former quarterback and wide receiver for the Tigers. So he's in his first year and doing quite a job trying to win that championship again for the 3rd consecutive year. And on the other side, Mr. Positive Vibes. I mean, this guy was fantastic to talk to today, this week on the Zoom call. And we're talking about head coach Alonzo Hampton. That is not Alonzo, by the way, but he's down there on the sideline. So we'll see Alonzo in just a minute. But Alonzo Hampton, in his first year, he's a former assistant head coach at Louisiana Monroe under Trey Bowden. And did quite a job over there. He's a defensive specialist, also played in the NFL. You know, had a cup of coffee with the Seahawks and the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that guy right there on the sidelines, he was positive anyways.
Yeah, he was very positive. Well, SWAC football is underway at Simmons Bank Field, and the kickoff goes out of the end zone. So Jackson State will get the first possession of the game. They will start 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line, and that means we will get a first look at Jacobian Morgan, number 15. We talked a little bit about him on the open, but this young man is something special indeed. He was battling Jason Brown for the quarterbacking starting job earlier this year when they came out of camp, but he injured his finger, had surgery on his finger, so Brown took over as the starter. But as you can see, Jacobian Morgan comes in 6'4", 227 pounds, and he can run the football. We'll get back with more on Jacobian in just a second as the Tigers start 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line. Morgan on a pitch. It goes to Desmond Moultrie around the right side, and a good recovery by that Arkansas Pine Bluff defense. Pickup of about 3 yards, maybe 4 on the carry as the Tigers race to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good tackling there. They stretched it out. Nice.
So this time, Morgan goes upstairs, completes his pass near the sideline. There's a lot of room out there. He's still going down the sidelines. And can one man to catch him, and he won't do it. It's going to be a touchdown for Jackson State. That's the big tight end, DJ Stevens, who made the catch and run and took it to the house. And it did not take the Tigers from Jackson State long to get on the scoreboard.
Wow, you talk about lightning strikes. At the beginning, we said who would have the firepower to help him out. Well, that is firepower. Look at Stevens. And again, they were blitzing off the corner and the edge, and he did a great job of going up. The pressure's coming here. That means I got an open hole there, threw it to Stevens, and he went the rest of the way.
Morgan got him the ball quickly, and DJ Stevens did the rest. The extra point attempt is good, and just like that, we're barely 30 seconds into this ball game, and Jackson State has jumped out in front to a 7-0 lead. He dumped it off to his big tight end, DJ Stevens. Stevens, an All-American who comes in at 6'4", 235, but he also showed he could run as he hightailed it down the sideline.
Yeah, at first, I didn't think he was going to be able to go all the way. I thought the defenders would be able to push him out of bounds right there, but he just stayed on it and just put the hammer down and just went flying down the sidelines for the big run there. Great job. And again, what I thought was special there was Morgan saw the pressure come from the corner and the end, and so he knew there'd be a hole there, turned to Stevens, delivered it really quick.
Unofficially, it's a 72-yard touchdown on the pass play from Jacobian Morgan to his big tight end, DJ Stevens.
That is quick strike capabilities right there. I think I have it here as 70 yards officially now.
Officially
Butch.
70 yards. What a way to start the game for the Tigers from Jackson State with an explosive play, and they find themselves out in front 7-0. So now the Tigers will kick it back to the Golden Lions. Kickoff is fielded inside the 5, and on the return, and he's going to be spun down at about the 27-yard line. So they will have good field position, and just like that, wow, that last drive, a 70-yard completion. Let's take a look now at our impact players, brought to you today by GM for Jackson State, Desmond Moultrie and Antonio Doyle, and then we'll see for Pine Bluff, Jonas Davis and Rico Dozier.
Yeah, Dozier's a tackle machine, 85 tackles, 1 sack. Jonas Davis, has got to do something big for the offense here and have that 4.9 yards a carry today. He's going to help his quarterback and team.
Chancellor Edwards, that quarterback for Arkansas Pine Bluff. He's going to open the game with a pass, and it shoots it, and it's going to be an incomplete pass to make it 2nd and 10. He was trying to hit his big tight end, Tristan Ballard, with that pass. But while we have a second, let's check out the keys to the game for Arkansas Pine Bluff, what they need to do to make it work today.
Well, force turnovers on defense. They've got to make that happen and contain Morgan's running ability on the defensive side as well. But big play is a must for them. They have to have big strikes to help their offense. It's going to be hard for them to maintain long drives. They got to have the big strike capability. Someone's got to step up.
That was Davis with a nice gain on the carry right there. Of course, our keys to the game brought to you by GM as we pick up Arkansas Pine Bluff in the black and gold uniforms right there. Jackson State in the all-white with the blue helmets.
And another big part of that, Butch, is this offense has got to stay on the field and not just go 1-3 and out. They can't afford 3 and outs today.
So the pass again from Edwards goes through the hands of number 18 over there. That is Christian Cochran, and it's going to be a little wet. That's a perfect example of it right there. He hit him right in his hands, but that football gets pretty heavy under these type of conditions.
Yeah, and it's been raining for a while for them, so they certainly have to make sure you assure the catch is the biggest thing for them.
So Pine Bluff coming up with the ball now. Edwards to pass, fires it inside, and again, a football that got all the way into the chest, and it ends up being an incomplete pass. He was trying to hit Tristan Ballard with that one right there.
Yeah, Guthrie with the defense right there, a perfect time hit. As soon as that ball got to the receiver, he was right in his back dislodging that ball. Good defense, great coverage.
So Arkansas Pine Bluff now with the football have a key down coming up here. Scoreboard says it's 3rd and 10. Edwards has 3 receivers to his left. He looks the other way, rolls to his right. Still looking downfield, fires, he completes the pass. It's going to be caught right near midfield by Damon Dawkins with his first reception of the game, but one of the Tigers is injured on the play, and he looks like he's holding his hand.
Yeah, it's Guthrie right there. It looks like he landed weird on his right hand. Yeah, right there you can see him. As soon as he hits the ground right there, he is just turning. So somehow his hand got twisted when he hit the ground. That's tough right there. Again, he just made a big defensive play a moment ago, and then he gets hurt. So I can't really see him through this crowd. But,
yeah, they're taking a good look at him over on the sideline. And that's another thing when you talk about these slippery conditions, you know, sometimes they're conducive to injuries you would not normally have. As you can see, he's still down on the ground there.
Bush, did you like playing in the rain?
I did. Personally, I did. And the reason why I did, because you never got tired.
Yeah.
Usually if it was raining, it was pretty cool out there. And it didn't bother me at all. I know some people it did.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly super fast, so I actually enjoyed it. Slowed some fast people down. They couldn't cut as good.
Keevrick Wiggins is the
Wiggins.
injured player down there. And you can see they're still attending to him near the sideline. And one of the keys coming into this game, we're going to have a 4th and 2 whenever we get back to the regular action. It'll be 4th and 2 for the Golden Lions from Arkansas Pine Bluff. But one of the things they had to do in this ball game was to hang on to the football. Golden Lions have fumbled 9 times, losing 8 so far this year. And as head coach Alonzo Hampton told us, we've just been killing ourselves.
Yeah, and no matter who you are, you can't kill yourself. You can't give the ball away, and they sure can't do that.
Okay, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back. Notes was 7-0, Jackson State out in front.
Natasha, is that how you say it? You look, wow. I mean, wow. Wow. Thanks. It's Old Navy. Wow. What'd you?
Shop Kohl's for a head start on gifting. Get a Sephora set for $49. Women's sweaters starting at $24.99. And save on a Ninja pressure cooker. Then take 20% off other finds. $10 off $50 spent and earn Kohl's cash. Kohl's.
Get ready. In the Air Force Reserve, you have the freedom to find your own meaning of success. The freedom to choose your own career and build your future on your own time. When you're ready, so are we.
Ready?
Scout is protected by Simparica Trio, and he's in it to win it. Simparica Trio is the first chew with triple protection. Oh, please. And ticks. Intestinal worms! Whoa, heartworm disease! No problem with Simparica Trio. This drug class has been associated with neurologic adverse reactions, including seizures. Used with caution in dogs with a history of these disorders. For winning protection, go with Simparica Trio.
Welcome back, everyone. While we were away, Keevrick Wiggins from Jackson State was actually carted off the field. Of course, we wish him the best and hope that it is not a serious injury at all. But he was taken off by cart. So now 4th down and 2 yards to go for the first down for the Golden Lions with Chancellor Edwards at quarterback. And you can see both teams looking to the sideline trying to figure out that last scoring drive, by the way, by Jackson State. Only 2 plays, 75 yards, took them 31 seconds. So here we go. 4th and 2 for the Golden Lions from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Edwards to pass. It comes inside, and That's going to be caught and a first down by Damon Dawkins. And so talking to Coach Alonzo Hampton, he says if they're going to do anything offensively today, Damon Dawkins will have to have a big game.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a great catch because he was getting hit as that ball came in. I didn't think there was any way he could hang on to it, and he sure did. He weighs just $170, and to get hit like that, he hung on to the ball. Great job for his team making plays.
So the Golden Lions picked up a first down on 4th down. Edwards to throw again. This time he's going to run with it. Comes upfield, ball is out. That's another fumble, and it's recovered by number 22, Antonio Doyle Jr., who comes away with the first big play of the ball game. And we talked about the fumbles. We said Pine Bluff had to hang on to the football, and that's a perfect example.
Yeah, and again, it goes where you're just trying to make too much happen. And right here, he gets hit. Look at that hit right up underneath him. He gets raised in the air. And again, that ball just comes flying out. And Coach talked about this week, you got to keep the ball high and tight on your body. You can't have that ball hanging out a little bit. Watch here and watch the hit. Right there, comes underneath him, flips him over the top. What a great shot that was.
So the first turnover of the game goes to Jackson State.
Nice peppers, what a hit.
And Jacoby and Morgan and company are back on offense. Morgan will throw it, completes his pass. And it's going to be a nice gain to Fabian McCray, who's also a big play receiver for the Tigers. Makes a nice catch there.
And right now, Tigers on all cylinders.
So Morgan, 6'4", 230, hands off to Moultrie, and Moultrie showing that power drive in his legs as he picked up a couple inside before he's knocked down there by a couple of Pine Bluff defenders.
And the Golden Lions are going to have to do exactly what they did right there. It's got to be team tackling. Team tackling, they got to put, the whole saying 11 hats on the ball. Everyone's got to get there and help out.
2nd and short now for the Tigers. Morgan looking downfield, has to spin away from the pressure, and they got him, and he is sacked in the backfield. Big number 55, Isaiah Ward, one of the defensive leaders, tackled Jacoby and Morgan in the backfield. First sack of the game for Arkansas Pine Bluff, and that is something Coach Alonzo Hampton just raved about, was his defensive front and the job they did inside, and they come away with a big sack.
Ward just kept working. He would not be denied.
So -5 on the sack, and they come back to the run, and again, the Golden Lions are there to stuff it. Good defensive reaction there by the Golden Lions. Marcus Askew, one of the Lions in there on the stop, number 22 right there. So they do have some defensive players that can play and make some big plays.
Yeah, they talked about their linebackers. They've got some guys that run the ball and are very active, and they said that's part of their weak game for Jackson State, catching that second level of linebacker, see how they improve on that today.
3rd and long now for the Tigers, who lead this ball game 7-0. Jacoby and Morgan started his 2nd game at quarterback. He's the transfer from Syracuse, and he's going to throw it. Morgan with some time, lots of time, airs it deep, and he's too high. He had a receiver that was open. That was Duke Miller, down. And he just went too high, just right over his head, and it goes off of Duke's fingertips.
Yeah, and you can't miss a play, right? You can't miss the open play like that. That goes to the keys to the game. You got to start with intensity. The Tigers have certainly done that. Ball security so far, they've hung on to the ball. And then Morgan has to hit the play that is there. And right there was one of them. He didn't hit. When you've got a guy there, you got to be accurate enough to throw. And he stood in the pocket really strong, just didn't connect.
He didn't hit that one. Keys to the game brought to you by GM. Those were the keys for Jackson State. As Matt Knoll gets the punt away. And it's going to hit and bounce. And it's going to bounce through the end zone. So there's a whistle blowing down there. There's a little pushing and shoving, but no harm, no foul. We have a 7-0 game with 10:08 to go. We're going to pause for a timeout. We'll be right back at Simmons Bank Field.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of Black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hearty Dippers.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
SWAC football on ESPN is presented by Pepsi, official partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and by GM, proud sponsor of the SWAC. That last punt by Jackson State's Matt Noel was good from 53 yards, so it goes out of the end zone. So Arkansas Pine Bluff will start first and 10 from their 20-yard line. Of course, their offensive coordinator, Bobby Acosta, likes to script the first 12 plays to start the game. They've run 7 so far, so they're probably still on that script. First and 10, here come the Golden Lions, and not much room inside.
You know, scripts always help teams focus, and you'll see a lot. Why don't they script more? People say, well, you got to make adjustments because defense start making adjustments, et cetera. But the good thing about scripting plays is it gives your team a vision. And offensively, when you know where you're going and you walk through it, you can visualize the start of a game, and usually that accelerates a good start.
Yeah, that was an interesting conversation when he was telling us how he likes to script the plays and how he likes to call the game. So here we go, 2nd and 8 now. And again, good reaction by that Jackson State defense. Big number 99, Jeremiah Williams, is there on the stop.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Tigers defense has been solid all year long, and they're getting better, right? I mean, they're growing. They're not getting stagnant. They're getting more and more explosive. And again, that's where Jackson State says, okay, you know, that's how we're supposed to be, getting better and better and better.
Yeah, you talked about last week. 12 tackles for loss for Jackson State. Here's a big 3rd and 6 coming up now for the Golden Lions. 12 tackles for loss last week, 3 interceptions, and 8 sacks by the Tigers. I mean, that's an impressive defensive effort. So Arkansas Pine Bluff on 3rd down. Edwards to throw it, and it's going to be incomplete inside, so they could not pick up the first down this time. Good coverage by the Tigers, and the Golden Lions will have to punt the football away.
Watch this, as a receiver, he's got to get some separation. He's covered like a shirt, really. Quite frankly, he wasn't open. He didn't give it, and he didn't throw it to the outside where he was a little free to be able to get it to him. So
Isaac Peppers was all over him, man, the big linebacker for Jackson State. But it looked like Edwards expected him to continue on his route, and Peppers wouldn't let him.
No.
So he had nowhere to go. So in to put the football away is Jeremy Baker. Gets it away, low kick, end over end, going to bounce. Seven McGee chooses to let it bounce. It's a good move there, and it's going to fall the rest right about the 35-yard line is where Jackson State will go back on the offensive end. So Jackson State will take over the football when we come back. 7-0 Tigers out front. Welcome back, everyone. As you see number 15 there, that is Jacobian Morgan. He's the quarterback for the Jackson State Tigers. And they're getting set to rock and roll on offense. Put 7 McGee in motion, so you have 3 receivers to the left. Comes back to McCray. McCray makes the catch, still on his feet as he slips the tackle, and McCray will be pushed out of bounds just short of midfield.
Yeah, with Rico Powers out, McCray, you're going to see is going to be a guy they go to try to make something really big happen. Again, puts it right in front of him so he can explode and make some play. Great job making that first tackle miss.
And that's another thing that Arkansas Pine Bluff has had problems with, is making the tackle. As you see Ahmad Miller going in motion there for the Tigers. Morgan goes back the other way with the screen. And it's going to be a nice pickup again for about 8 yards. So the Tigers on first down are doing a great job of moving the sticks and picking up the yardage. That was 19 Kobe Paul who made that catch.
2 major things on those wide receiver screens. You've got to have willing blockers for your wide receivers.
To 7 McGee this time. McGee steps out of bounds after picking up 4. So you can see the Tigers picking up the tempo, and they're having no problems throwing the ball despite the wet conditions out on the field.
Yeah, and again, those are good, safe plays. And again, you got receivers that are willing blockers. And what the good job is, he's putting the ball right out in front of those receivers. So once they catch it, they can turn and look, and they know what's coming and how to make their moves.
You know, it's an interesting story about Jacobian Morgan. He was a transfer from Syracuse, but he grew up in the area. TC recruited him as a young man, and here he is. He's going to pass the football. Now he has to run with it, and he's caught from behind and sacked. A big play by number 27. That is Kyle Knox. He was helping out on the play, and that's going to be a loss for Jackson State.
I'll tell you what, Knox got there just at the right time. Watch this. Knox doesn't give up on the play, but he was just getting ready to accelerate right when he was able to grab those hips and take him down.
Kyle Knox coming on the blitz, and as you said, he did not give up, came from behind and dropped Morgan. That'll make it 2nd and 15 for the Tigers. Morgan will throw it again. Passing underneath, and it's a completed pass to his other big tight end. That's Hayden Hagler that time with the catch, number 14.
Tigers very deliberate.
So now they have a 3rd and 8 coming up for the Jackson State Tigers. Three wideouts to the right. Morgan again, under pressure, has to deliver it, and it's right on the money. He has his man, and it's a big first down. As his receiver goes down to the 10, that is McCray on the catch and run. Fabian McCray, who has a touchdown on the year.
Well, McCray is going to step up big today. And look, just right on the money. You said it perfectly, Butch. I mean, you couldn't have thrown a better ball. And again, McCray is able to catch it and just turn right up the field.
1st and goal situation now for the Tigers, and this is where Morgan excels, still on his feet as he takes it down to the 5. So a big gain right there, 5 yards by Jacobian Morgan. He came into this ball game with 4 touchdowns rushing. Has 1 TD passing and 4 rushing, so obviously he started to get him back into action with working him in goal line packages. So he had been coming in for the Tigers when they were near the goal line, running the football and keeping it and doing a good job getting it into the end zone. So here we go. 2nd and goal with 5:40 to go here in the first quarter. Tigers put a man in motion. Turn, and they give it to Ahmad Miller, and Miller's going to be caught at about the 4, maybe the 3-yard line and pushed back, but he stopped cold right there.
Again, good job by the Golden Lions. I mean, they just right at the point of attack and just did not let down. They have a player down right now.
And the officials are pointing to the sidelines and signaling that they do need help out on the field right now.
He hasn't moved much. He's just sitting up. Can't see the number, Butch, but hopefully the trainers will get out there and they can attend to him and take care of him. This actually gives the Tigers a good time to be able to figure out and strategize exactly what they want to do on this play.
They will strategize on the sidelines, but you could bet it's going to go down to number 15 hanging on to the football here. That would be my guess. We will see how that works out. And now we have the injured player coming off the field. It was number 36, Daryl Holston for the Golden Lions, and that's a good sign anytime you see somebody running off like that. Daryl Holston, the 6'2", 200-pounder. and it looks like he will be back. And so Jacoby and Morgan and company have a 3rd and goal to go with the ball resting just inside the 4-yard line. Big down for Jackson State. They lead it 7-0 in the ball game. Morgan passes, hits his man, it's Hagler, and he's in for the touchdown for Jackson State. Jacoby and Morgan to Hayden Hagler, and another 6 points on the board for the Tigers. That Hagler, who's that big tight end, who's 6'4", 250. He's a transfer from Marshall.
Watch him, he rides it and just lofts it over. Again, when he sees pressure coming at him, he knows the guy heading into that area has room, and he just lofts it right over the defender. Just watch it right here. He sees pressure, just go over the top of him. Got a receiver right there.
I don't know about you, but every time I see Hagler, I think about the Celebration Bowl last year when he dropped the pass from Shedeur Sanders. So to see that young man come back and do anything great, it's just, he took it so hard. And you could see Deion Sanders, who was the Jackson State coach at the time, consoling him on the sideline, consoling him in the locker room. And to see him bounce back this year and just to play well and contribute to what's going on with the Tigers is really a big thing.
No, you are right. You are right. That was a huge, huge drop. And again, you know, how you react in failures is the mark of someone's character. And you can see his character is just fine in the way he plays for his team.
So Dylan Wasson coming out to kick it off for the Tigers. Let's take a look at the scoring drive. 9 plays. It covered 65 yards, and it took the Tigers 3 minutes and 40 seconds before that 4-yard TD pass from Jacoby and Morgan to Hayden Hagler, who actually hails from Sulphur, Louisiana, made the catch, took it in 4 yards for the touchdown. So Wasson with the kick. And the Golden Lions will take it at the 4. Got some running room this time, and he's going to be knocked down at about the 26-yard line. So a nice return by Donald Johnson right there for the Golden Lions. And they will go back on offense. So they've had some success offensively here, but it's just when they've had to convert on the big third downs, they haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, and again, you pointed out that one big fumble earlier. Just you can't have that happen. You can't turn the ball over that way. But again, you gotta focus. A team like this, just focus on each play, each drive. Keep it. You can't look at the big picture right now. You just got to look at win each play. You really do.
We had so many quotes from Alonzo Hampton, the first-year coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff. We'll get to some of that in a minute. Edwards to pass it. Going to go underneath. Has his man out there. That is Dawkins. He gets away, and he's going to have a gain of about 2. Made something out of nothing to Damon Dawkins because the outset, that play looked like it was going nowhere.
Oh, he was doing some dancing. I think he was dancing with the stars. He was cranking it out, but that all that dancing got him another 3-4 yards right there. So
Dawkins, 5'10", 170 pounds from District Heights, Maryland. Of course, Jackson State comes into this game 5-3 overall. The Golden Lions 1-6. Alonzo Hampton says, it just looks like we're losing, but what we're doing is we're learning and we're getting better. And a nice play in the backfield there as Jonas Davis is taken down before he could actually get going. That is Kirsten Rogers, actually number 35 on the carry.
Yeah, he tried to turn that edge, just couldn't do it. Again, that's the aggressive defense of Jackson State. They are just eyes and peppers, just everything.
He's a special player and a special story. Came into the game with 3.5 sacks, but he also had 7.5 tackles for loss. You could probably make that 8.5 after that play right there. So 3rd and 10 coming up now for the Golden Lions. Chancellor Edwards at quarterback. Under pressure. He's hit as he went to throw it, and a big stick indeed as he goes down. It was Joshua Clark, and the ball is still loose, picked up by the Tigers. In return, let's see what the officials say. He was hit right as he released that. It looked like a forward pass initially, but you have to keep playing it out, and that's what the Jackson State Tigers did.
Yeah, and I think the refs tend to, right here you can see he's going forward with that ball, so that's a throw. Yeah, but refs they don't want to blow that whistle too early and just in case. And so I think under review, you're going to see he's passing that ball. He cocks it back and he's throwing. He just gets hit on the elbow. Hopefully his elbow's okay because he gets hit with the helmet right on that elbow.
That was Joshua Clark bringing the heat.
You say the Tigers offense is running out there. They're ready to go, but it's under review right now.
It's under review, so we'll see what they come out with. I agree with you. When you look at that on the play right there, it looked like the arm was definitely coming forward, and it looked that way in regular time also.
Yeah, and again, I'm more concerned about Edwards' elbow. Watch his elbow right there hits the helmet as he's throwing it forward. You got to hope he's okay. But what a hit. And again, the aggressiveness of the Tigers defense, they just keep coming. But hopefully this isn't a turnover if you're a Golden Lions fan, and I don't think it is.
Well, and that's one of the things T.C. Taylor told us. He told his offense coming into this game. He said, you guys need to relax and just play ball because the defense will create those turnovers for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watch it right there, boy. You see that happen so fast, but his arm's going forward before that ball comes out. But it looks like his elbow's okay. He's not grabbing it, so hopefully that's the case. And again, I'm glad we saw it full speed. I always, slow-mo is great, but you get used to seeing slow-mo and go, how did he miss that? Well, look at it full speed, and let me tell you how quick that happens. People forget. You blink or you have some kind of quick moment, you can't see it, and there they go. They're sending their offense back to the sidelines. I think that punt team will come out. Was this third or is going before? Here we go again here. And watch him just come. That ball starts forward, and then he's hit on the elbow as he's throwing it. I don't know what's taking him so long to call that, but I think it's pretty obvious at this point.
Should be pretty clear. So the Golden Lions are on offense, so it looks like they will have the football. 4th down and 10 yards to go, so they will punt it away. So Jeremy Baker will come on for the Golden Lions with 3:35 to go here in the first quarter. So the kick goes off the foot, so it's not a good punt at all as it goes off to the side and goes out of bounds. That's going to be a short kick, and it's going to give Jackson State great field position.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be in Golden Lions territory right out of the gate. That's not what you want. You certainly have to have better punts than that. We'll see where it's spotted here. Looks like the 46-yard line. So now the Tigers are going to come out. They were ready to come out a minute ago. So now they're just out of play later.
The Tigers did the right thing offensively. They picked up the fumble, what appeared to be a fumble, and ran with it because that's what you're supposed to do, but it goes down as an incomplete pass. Now they have the football again offensively, and they go to Moultrie on the handoff around the right side, and Moultrie's going to pick up about 4 yards. So a nice carry on first down.
Well, watch Moultrie just battle from the first contact. You see how he just kind of went from one guy engaging into 2, 3, and 4 guys before he went down.
Morgan's going to keep it this time, looking for some room, and the big fella slides down close to the first down. May have picked it up. He got very close. We'll see where the officials put it down.
Looks like he's probably a yard short on that one, Butch.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and short because he slid. They marked him an extra yard. So call it a long one. 3rd and a long one for Jackson State to get the first down. Football resting on the 43-yard line. And the give, and he's upended. A big stop there by the Golden Lions.
I just don't know where that mark is. It looks like that mark's real close to that first down, Coach.
That was Moultrie again. He didn't need much. He just needed to get a yard and a half, and it is a first down for the Jackson State Tigers. So a good job by Moultrie getting what he needed there.
Again, we've seen Moultrie before. It's kind of funny to me. I remember the last time we saw him, he was running a little more powerful inside. It seems like he's kind of running off the edges here, running off tackle into the outside today.
That last punt by Jeremy Baker, 20 yards. And they try to go to the end around. Ball is out, and it's going to be recovered by Jackson State. So the Tigers trying to get fancy there in the backfield. And let's see, now big number 90 has the football for Arkansas Pine Bluff. Cameron Rutherford. You see right there, Moultrie tried to pitch it. It's loose, still out there. And right there, looks like 90 took it away. We'll see what the officials say. 64 had it, Deontay Graham.
Yeah, but
it was dead. It was dead. Hey, man, if you're not trying.
That's right.
So good job by big number 90, Cameron Rutherford. He was hustling.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what you try to do, for sure.
2nd and 19 coming up now after they tried to go to that reverse play. It may have been a reverse pass. You never know. Morgan comes underneath, and he has Duke Miller. Miller's still on his feet. It's going to be a nice gain. He got a big chunk of that back to Duke Miller right there.
The timing of the Tigers right now is really impressive. Look at the timing on this play. Looks right, comes back left, lineman out in front of him. They create the play really well. And again, he runs inside of his blocks right there. Really, really good.
Kyrie Williams, the young man who made the tackle, is down on the field. He came in there with that shoulder, and he went to walk away, and he immediately grabbed his shoulder and went down. So we're still early in. We got 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We've already had 3 injuries.
Yeah, and they've all been on the Pine Bluff side. Again, pretty physical game, and the Tigers certainly bring the intensity. That was part of the big thing that they needed to make sure they did, right? When you look at an opponent, people start saying you can overlook. TC Taylor said we don't overlook anyone. We got to make sure we have our focus and bring the intensity. He's talked about it before, that they just have to play the best they can play and not worry so much about the opponent, but you can't overlook it, and the intensity is key.
Kyrie Williams, a 5'11", 201-pound junior from Akron, Ohio. He's a transfer from Iowa Western Community College. And we saw him go off on his own power, as we said before. That's always a good sign. As we are ticking down to the end of the first quarter. 3rd and 6 now for Jackson State. They put Big Hagler in motion. Morgan looking downfield, fires a strike. It's caught by McCray, and he's out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So a great job to Fabian McCray. Jacobian Morgan completes the pass to McCray.
Well, McCray already having a pretty good day, real quick. And gets his 4th catch.
Tigers knocking at the door, but we're down to 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Morgan down to 8 seconds. Now he's going to pass it. Under pressure, Morgan is caught and dropped in another big defensive play by the Golden Lions. Number 21, Grant Ewell Jr. from Portland, Oregon is in the backfield and dropped him as we come to the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, Morgan stares him down for a minute like, I'm not worried about you, I'm throwing over you. And then he just couldn't move quick enough to get out of the way.
Yeah, very indecisive by Morgan there. But that is the end of the first quarter. 13-0 Jackson State. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Jackson State with the football and a 13-0 lead as they have a 2nd and 17 right here for a touchdown. Tigers are coming off that sack of their quarterback, Jacobian Morgan, right before the break. So he puts Moultrie to his left. Morgan snaps, fakes it to Moultrie. Now he's going to pull it down. Jacobian looking to run it, has some room on the outside, and he's going to step out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. Close to a late hit. Morgan thought it was, but the officials said all good here.
Wow. I've seen a lot less on this one. Again, he was indecisive again a little bit. Then we decided to run. That's a close one. I'm surprised it's not a flag nowadays. I personally think that's okay, but you touch a quarterback when you're heading out. That's tough.
And a little bit of confusion here for Jackson State as Moultrie is trying to get lined up, the running back, Desmond Moultrie. And it's 3rd and 7 for the touchdown for Jackson State. Jacobian Morgan into the end zone, back of the end zone, DJ Stevens, and he's out of the end zone. He was open for just a second, but the ball might have come a tad late.
Yeah, it's got to get there sooner because he basically ran himself right out the back end of the end zone. Couldn't do anything about it. Right there, the trigger's got to already be running. And you can see right here, he's already at the back. There's no way. It's like he didn't slam in the post.
Came very close to it. So a 4th down attempt now. We're going to have Dylan Wasson come onto the field to attempt the field goal. It will be a 24-yard attempt, unofficially, from Wasson. And he's an interesting story himself, who's basically a walk-on kicker here at Jackson State. We'll get to that in a minute. Wasson's kick is sailing right, and it is good. He gets it through the uprights that time. And Jackson State will tack on 3 more and take a 16-0 lead in this game. And you will remember just a couple weeks ago, we were doing their games. They did not have a kicker. And we're going to talk about that when we come back. But right now, we're going to pause for another timeout. 16-0 Jackson State with 14-11 to go.
When you join the HBCU family, you become part of the tradition of breaking barriers in your community, breaking ground in your career, and bringing it with everything you do. From how you look to how you move in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. That's why Academy Sports and Outdoors is proud to celebrate the HBCU legacy and all those to add to it in their own way.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Since 1877, Jackson State University has been training students for a life of service and leadership to impact our global society. Ranked among the best HBCUs in the country, Jackson State University offers 47 undergraduate, 37 master's, 1 specialist, and 13 doctoral degree programs. Whether you're interested in the arts, education, public health, the sciences, or business, we're here to take you from ready to JSU ready. Visit jsums.edu and apply today.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
So far on the scoreboard, it's been all Jackson State, but right before the break, we were talking about their kicking boards. Of course, Geraldo Beza is an outstanding kicker. You know, he could have possibly been an all-conference kicker. He got hurt. He was out for the season. And then they came back, and then Matt Noel was going to try it. He got hurt during practice. And then they brought in Leilani Armenta, and she didn't really get a chance to try it. And then they found Wasson as we have the kick return here, and is going to get to about the 20, still on his feet, maybe up to the 25. And then Dylan Wasson was on campus. They found out about it because his dad was a state trooper with one of T.C. Taylor's former teammates.
There you go. How easy is that?
And that's how they found him.
And I say, hey, my son's out there, right? Why don't you give him a shot? He comes out there and he tries out, and then he's been great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing that's been, not only did he make the team, but he's been really, really solid. And as for Armenta, she came off the soccer team. She was just happened to be out there, and someone said she played in high school, so they let her try to kick.
You said he was good. This is how good he's been. He's made kicks from 40, 45, and 46 yards.
Yeah.
So they're very happy to have Dylan Wasson. So now Arkansas Pine Bluff back with the football. They go on offense. And they're going to go to the running game, and they have some room on the outside. So it's going to be a nice pickup there by the Golden Lions. Number 24, B.J. Curry on the carry. We also have a new quarterback in the game. We're going to see, it looks like Mekhi Haggins, who's the quarterback that's in the game. So the Golden Lions trying to mix things up a little bit. Little change, a strike thrown, caught, and a nice pickup again by the Golden Lions. Kenji Lewis on the catch for a short gain, but that's going to set up a nice 3rd and 1. Actually, that was a first down. So let's make it 1st and 10 for the Golden Lions. And there's your quarterback, Mekhi Haggins, 6'3", 204 pounds. He's a junior from St. Louis, Missouri. He's got some playing time this year. They've played all 3 quarterbacks at different times, so this is nothing unusual for Alonzo Hampton to try to jumpstart his team. Haggins slips a tackle in the backfield, but he has nowhere to go. Just a great response by that Jackson State defense.
I'll tell you, man, that defense led by Ozzie Peppers is just impressive. They are all over the map. And again, you got to give your quarterback an opportunity. Look right there. You got pressure rolling in, and it just does not stop.
Yeah, Haggins was surrounded in the backfield before he could do anything, really. Let's call it a loss of 1 after that last play, that last fine defensive play by the Tigers. So 2nd and 11 coming up now for the Golden Lions.
Khalil Arrington led that charge.
Another fine play. 35 tackles on the year. Haggins fires it out near the sideline. That one's going to go down as an incomplete pass. Joshua Clark over there defending on the play. He's been busy in this first half. Blake Keller from New Orleans, a transfer from Ole Miss. And he had a cup of coffee at Northwestern State.
Coffee before the game. May have had a couple of espressos the way he's playing.
Got 12:09 to go here. Third and 11. Hagan's in trouble again, and he's caught and he's dropped. Boy, this is something that we know. Devontae Davis on the sack, and that's something Jackson State excels at, rushing the passer there.
I think that was Tyus Martin, number 98. I think so here. They had a couple big guys in there. Watch them. Big 98 and 97 collapse. Wonder if they'll give that a team who they're going to share the sack or not, right?
Hey, that's where the half the sack comes from, because of plays like that. You got one guy that has him, and then another guy basically comes in and finishes him off. So now the Golden Lions will have to punt it away. Last time Baker had a 20-yard punt, so he's looking to do better this time. Gets the kick away. Going to get a good bounce, a Golden Lions bounce, and now it's going to settle in around the 18-yard line where they finally touched it down. But, you know, we really enjoyed our conversation with Alonzo Hampton. We'll talk about that more in just a minute. 16-0 Jackson State. We'll be back.
I want to get so close to you. Cherish the sunshine. Leave everything behind. Shine your light. Yeah. This world was made for you. So do what what you have to do.
Welcome to the Eras Tour. We're about to go on a little adventure together, and that adventure is going to span 17 years of music. How does that sound?
Bosch tools are built for workers. Bosch's powerful hammer drill has kickback control to help work go more smoothly when you need it. The 2-in-1 quickly changes between impact wrench and impact driver when you're slammed. And X-Lock switches wheels up to 5 times faster than standard grinders when you need to change tasks in a hurry. Bosch tools take care of the job and you. Bosch tools, what hard workers deserve. Learn more at BoschTools.com.
Clean, effective, all-day deodorant.
You smell amazing.
It's native. Whoa. Native combines the best of nature with the best of science that neutralizes odor-causing bacteria for long-lasting odor protection. Pick up some Native today.
And if I wear a sweater, I'm not going to be able to see. Oh, hey, there you are. Are you ready to go watch some more me? No, not this time. I'm wide awake. I'm not going to fall.
Welcome back, everyone. 16-0 Jackson State leading Arkansas Pine Bluff. We're in the second quarter with 11:11 to go. That last punt by Jeremy Baker, boy, he got into that one, 51 yards. So a good job flipping the field there. Baker doing a good job. But we were talking about Alonzo Hampton right before we went to break. And he's such a positive, uplifting guy, first-year head coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff. And he just said, you look at that 1-6 record and people think we're losing. He said, we're learning, man. We're learning. We're getting better. We're getting experience out of this.
Well, anyone can take a look at and look at their own life. What's the best place you learn in failures, right? Learning not to do something. And usually when you fail it, you'll do whatever you can not to have that failure again. And that's what he's building. He's a new coach, new culture, trying to set the tone of how he wants his program run. He is certainly a joy to hear.
So Tigers, 1st and 10 with Ahmad Miller on a carry. Picks up a couple of yards inside. Yeah, no, he was just a pleasure to talk to. Just a real positive guy, talking about a lot of things. Pleased with some of the progress on defense. On the other side, you got another first-year coach, T.C. Taylor, who's stepping in for Deion Sanders, and all he did was just win the conference championship for 2 consecutive years. So
right.
Those are the big shoes to fill.
What I like what Taylor's done, though, he hasn't tried to redo everything. He's like, look, we're going to keep the same goals that we had before. We're going to dominate, we're going to execute. And his players have bought in, and they've done that.
Morgan's pass is tipped away right there. He did have an open receiver downfield, but one of the big linemen got a hand on that one to break up the pass. So that's going to set up a 3rd down and 7 for Jackson State.
Yeah, I think big Ryland Woods thought he was going to be able to have that interception. See how his hand went up there? He thought, man, if I can grab that, turn this the other way.
Ryland Woods, the 6-footer, 235-pound junior, making a big play. Jackson State 4 for 6 on 3rd down. Morgan passing down the sidelines, and it's caught, but out of bounds. So he led him just a little too much. Was trying to hit Kobe Paul. Paul made the catch, but he was out of bounds on the play.
Well, that's kind of what Coach talked about. Morgan, his timing's just a little bit off. And we talk about he's got to make the play that's there. He's just a little bit behind, which means your receiver drifts too far to the sidelines and he's not able to take it in.
But some of that could be also from the hand injury, the surgery, and just not playing. He just needs the reps.
Right. No, I mean, it's a timing with receiver, making quicker decisions. There's a whole lot that goes about this. It doesn't just happen real quick. And again, but that's a big stop for the Golden Lions.
So Matt Knoll on to punt the football away. Sends it high and deep, and we will have a return on it. It's Johnson. Shakes the tackler, but now he's caught and dropped at the 30-yard line. So Donald Johnson trying to get something going to transfer from Grambling, but he is caught and dropped. We got 10:09 to go. We'll be back in a minute. Stick around.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the revitalization and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Doritos created
All
Solid
around
Black
the
in
sweat.
2021 to help fuel the initiatives of Black leaders
Bethune
seeking to
Cookman
drive
7,
real change.
Rambling 14.
And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16
Alabama
new change
State
makers to the
7,
program.
Alabama 8.
We are Solid Black.
Both those games are still in the first quarter. Coach Jackson
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score. And starting in probably about another minute or two.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think.
No,
We are past,
no score from
present,
Valley and
and future.
Alcorn just yet.
All in one.
Texas Southern has the late game. Well, it was late, 3 o'clock.
Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Welcome back, everyone. We are 10 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the second quarter as Jackson State is leading Arkansas Pine Bluff 16-0 in the ball game. And we have Arkansas Pine Bluff with the football getting set to go on offense. And we'll see who checked in at quarterback. It's number 9 again. And it hands off, and it's going to be a short gain on the run. That is Makai Higgins again at quarterback. Gives it to 24, B.J. Curry on the carry.
Golden Lions need something big to happen. I mean, they're not getting done rushing, passing. They have just 38 yards on 18 plays. That is not going to get it, while the Tigers have 28 plays, 189 yards.
So second down and 10 to go now. Makai will pass it. Fires over the middle. Has a man down there, and he just overshot it. Just a little too strong on that pass. Was trying to hit Kenji Lewis, who had a couple of steps.
Yeah, it looked to me when he was releasing that ball, it's almost like when something, you're in a carnival game and you're trying to hit that one little thing. Watch him as he releases it. He's like, oh, he's right there. I'm going to try to pinpoint it in, and just couldn't get it right there. He should have let him a little bit to the outside shoulder. That's where more room was. It's the safety was coming over the top to help out.
Anthony Petty did a good job of getting over there right at the end, so you couldn't really float that ball too much. So
right.
Third down and 10 now for the Golden Lions. In trouble. Higgins fires over the middle, has his man, it's caught. He's going to pick up the first down and more. The Golden Lions come up with a huge play. It's Derek White on the reception, and he picked up the big first down to keep the drive alive.
Boy, what's your favorite person in quarterback? It's a receiver that makes himself. Now, first he turns into trouble, actually, and then he gets to the outside, and then he still looks downfield. Now, watch this move right there. That creates the extra room for the first down, and a receiver that comes back and helps out his quarterback. That's your favorite guy.
Big first down there. As you see Derek White, who made the catch, 5'11", 168, sophomore from the ATL, and the handoff goes inside to B.J. Curry, and he runs into a solid wall.
Wow, but look at him.
He spun out of there, but that's a...
How did he get that extra 4 to 5 yards? Did he tunnel through there? What the heck was that?
He made a nice little move spinning out of there as we get down to the 8:30 mark.
Wow. Yeah, that's just determination right there.
Yeah, he didn't quit because the initial stop went nowhere, and then he spun out of it to set up a nice 2nd and 5 for the Golden Lions that they've come to life offensively here. Higgins to pass it again. Now the pressure comes in. Rolling to his right, escapes, and he's going to end up picking up 2 or 3 yards as he steps out of bounds. So he does a good job, like I said, making something happen there.
Did he get yards?
Let's see.
I thought he should have thrown it away.
Yeah, he got
Shoot
into
that one. Yeah, back him up just a little bit, Coach. I think he didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
Third down, and now they're going to put, yes, 3rd and 7. I was watching the scoreboard. I'm sorry. Originally, they had 3rd and 5, but make it 3rd and 7 now as they pushed it back, and we do have a timeout on the field as they talk about things over there. And you see T.C. Taylor in the middle there somewhere talking to his team. Been a pretty good first half for Jackson State, but now all of a sudden Arkansas Pine Bluff has a lot of the momentum going.
That's Jonathan Bradley, one of the defensive coordinator in there, right there in the middle. He talked about this week a lot of it being attention to detail. He said you can't let yourself get away from your detail and what's coached, and you got to be able to finish plays, finish drives. That's the big part of what they need to do. A lot of times they were doing a lot of right things, and on the play they needed the most, they lost their attention span. They lost their intensity.
Yeah, but Jonathan Bradley has this team really, really playing some good defense.
Yeah,
and they're being aggressive. They're all over the field, and more importantly than anything else, they're forcing turnovers, and they're making turnovers happen. So here comes a big 3rd down now for the Golden Lions from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Makai Hagan's in at quarterback. Blitz, fake the blitz on the play, and Pine Bluff wisely backed out of it. And now we have another whistle and another timeout on the field.
This time the Golden Lions said, "Wait a minute, we didn't like what we saw right there. We're gonna have a look at this and see what we're gonna do here."
Well, what they saw was a lot of pressure about to come their way.
Right.
And we were just talking about the Jackson State defense, 2nd in the SWAC in passing defense, allowing right at 190 yards a game. Most of the time, it's less than that. So it's just doing an outstanding job on the defensive side of things.
That's exceptional. And again, they do so much so well. They got a secondary that's just fantastic. They can switch out different guys at different positions. They put a lot of pressure on those cornerbacks and safeties to cover and cover well. They don't mind doing man, so they mix it up quite a bit.
On the rushing side, only giving up 154 yards rushing a game. So, but what they do, I think, better than anything else is they will bring the heat. And we will see if it's coming here on 3rd and 7. Golden Lions will pass it, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. No chance on that one. Was trying to hit number 3 over there in the vicinity, but it just wasn't happening there. Actually, it was Kenji Lewis down there. Wow, so they're going to have to kick the football away. So the Lions had something going right there. The Golden Lions had the football going up and down the field, but that defense came up with a big play, and with 7:40 to go here in the first half, Jackson State looks like they're going to get the football back.
And again, what this does is it puts a drain on that Golden Lions defense because they're on the field so much and so much pressure, they get worried about making a mistake.
Pressure on the kicker, and they hit the kicker. And now the official behind the kicker, behind the punter, said they did partially block the kick. He was signaling that they did block the kick because they ran directly into the punter on that play.
Yeah, and the rule there is if you touch the ball at all, then you can hit the punter. You can run into him, which it's almost like double jeopardy for the punter. That's right, I got my punt block, and you can hit me.
If we could take another look at that, it'd be great because the punter, the defensive player who showed up, got on the corner right there. He was there early and in plenty enough time to get that. Watch this.
There were 3 guys there that just have a party at the punter's foot.
Looked like it may have been Alan Burnett. Numbers, I'm not sure who it was. I didn't quite get the number either.
Say pick one. There was 3 guys. There were 3 guys there. I think any one of them could have put a hand on that ball.
Tavarius Jones also back there, and it looked like he was there, but whoever came from the left side just kind of missed the ball, like barely got a piece of the ball because they were there early enough to get the block.
So I thought they were going to get it.
Yeah.
In live action.
So Jackson State has the football. Tigers getting set to go back to work on offense. Plenty of time here in the second quarter, and Morgan has gone all the way at quarterback in his second start. Done some things well, been a little off on some of his passes. And he's starting 1st and 10 here with the ball at the 13-yard line. Morgan will throw it. Now he gets out of the pocket. He was a little anxious to get out of there. He had some time, good protection, but he takes it past the 20-yard line. So a nice gain by Jacoby and Morgan. It's an interesting story about him. T.C. Taylor actually recruited him in high school, and then Syracuse won, but they stayed in touch with the family. T.C. said, hey, look, you never know. He goes away, goes all the way to Syracuse. And lo and behold, because they stayed in touch with the family, when he decided, things aren't going the way I want him to go, he comes back to Jackson State.
Yeah, and again, if he would have been in the spring, he felt like he would have got more work in.
2nd and 3, and Morgan completes the pass. It's a first down and more. A big pickup right there by the Tigers.
Well, good execution here. Again, looking up the field, then turns left, throws it out there in the flat, and then great moves.
That was J.D. Morgan, the running back who's missed several games this year because of a toe injury. And each week, Coach would tell us he's getting closer and closer to coming back. And that time on the previous play, that time it was Duke Miller, but the previous play was J.D. Martin, who had gotten the backfield and saw some action over there. So it's good to see him. He's a good runner, and of course he's getting some action today. He's getting to work back into it because Herb Mulligan is not available, but we do have a flag, and we have not had a lot of flags in this ball game. So this was going to push the offense back.
Usually I hate saying that because that means there's going to be a plethora of them after.
So the holding call goes against Jackson State, so to wipe out that play to Duke Miller. But we were talking about J.D. Martin, who is an outstanding running back, and for a long time he was the starting running back, and then he injured the toe, missed a lot of action, and that kind of opened the door for Herb Mulligan.
And of course, Herb Mulligan's been just fantastic. He's second in the SWAC and rushing, and he is 11.
Yeah, this is the second game he's missed, and he's still second in the SWAC.
Yeah.
So the handoff goes to Martin, and Martin's going to pick up a big gain, still on his feet. He's down the sideline, and Martin's going to rip off a big run for the offense as they come back. They get the penalty yardage, and they get the first down as Jackson State is back on the move again.
What a run. You look at that. Comes from the inside, goes right off the tackle, but just stays on that slant outside, makes a guy miss, and then just turns on the gas heading outside.
Once again, though, it's the tackling that's not really working out too well for Arkansas Pine Bluff. They had a couple of shots at Martin right there, couldn't bring him down. So that big run, Martin will sit, and Desmond Montree will come back, slips the tackler in the backfield. He goes around the left side. He's going to pick up about 7. Moultrie on the carry there as he gets back into the ball game.
Tell you, when you got a battle of running backs like that have that kind of success, everyone's like, well, wait a minute, I better bring it when I get out there, otherwise I won't see the field.
It's a talented group of running backs indeed. Second and 5 now for the Tigers from Jackson State. Morgan looking to throw it, and he slips away. Got caught in the backfield. He completes his pass, and that is a first down for JSU. That pass to Kobe Paul, who hauled that one in.
Yeah, I thought Morgan was going to just tuck it down and go ahead and run it, but he decided not to and threw it. Good job by him. And again, making good decisions, and when the play's there, you got to make it. So
Tigers, because they're moving the ball, like you like to say, it's easy to go to that up-tempo offense when you're making big plays, and they are making big plays. 1st and 10 ball on the 25-yard line, and Morgan looking to pass it again. Down the sideline, has a man breaking perfectly. That's DJ Stevens, and it's another touchdown for Jackson State. The big tight end hauled it in. He had a touchdown on the second play of the game, and now DJ Stevens bounced back again.
Well, I'll tell you, Desmond Moultrie made the block that allowed it to happen. Watch Moultrie slide to his left, gets the defensive end, slams him down so that way he could throw the easy pass into the touchdown to Stevens. Again, a running back willing to block. That's big time. That's guys buying into each play, buying into the program. You saw receivers blocking well earlier, now running back.
Well, you know the best thing about that drive? And here is Lalani Armenta on for the extra point, the young lady we talked about not that long ago, just a few minutes ago, and she hit it.
There you go.
And that's one happy group of Jackson State Tigers down there. Lalani Armenta from Ventura, California, first woman to ever play in a SWAC football game, to ever play in an HBCU football game. and she comes on and she drills the extra point, and they're excited about it. We're going to pause for a timeout now. 24-0, Jackson State out in front.
Welcome to the Eras Tour. We're about to go on a little adventure together, and that adventure is going to span 17 years of music. How does that sound?
You're such a good listener, Thomas. It makes me feel so special.
You are special. If you don't mind, if you could just...
This makes me feel really special too, because Discover's giving me cash back on debit, not just credit.
Actually, Discover gives cash back on debit to everyone.
Everybody?
Everybody, if you could just...
What about Debbie John? All those years that I couldn't find my bike, it was in her garage. Like, she gets it.
If she has Discover cashback debit, then yeah.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cashback forever.
That touchdown by tight end Stevens. That's the second of the game. That dude's all pro, man. He can catch anything. It's good to see him back in the mix of things. All right. Grambling 21, Bethune-Cookman 7. Alabama A&M has tied up Alabama State 7-7. That's the only scores got right now. It's 0-0 at Perryview of FAMU.
And if I wear a sweater, I'm not going to be able to see. Oh, hey, there you are. Are you ready to go watch some more me? No, not this time. I'm wide awake. I'm not going to fall.
There's no score for Valley and Alcorn.
$23-0, Jackson State out in front, but what they're celebrating is the extra point by Lalani Armenta, that young lady right there who became the first young lady a couple of weeks ago. She was the first young lady to kick in a SWAC game or in an HBCU game, and then today she made an extra point. So what an excellent boy. She is really fired up and happy. As you see the play drive there, 6 plays, 87 yards, and it took them 2 minutes and 7 seconds to get that touchdown. A 25-yard TD pass to DJ Stevens, and now all of a sudden, a lot of that.
Let me try to fix this. Hold on, man. Okay, here we go. My apologies.
She had basically no practice, had to come in, and she kicked an extra point. It was rough for her. Certainly didn't look the way that she wanted it to look. And then to come out here in this game a couple weeks later, really 2-3 weeks later, and now she kicks a perfect extra point, and you can just tell her timing and all that is so much better because she used to kick in high school and now kicking here. You can just tell she's absolutely elated.
Well, they all are.
And the team is, yes.
That first game, it was the kickoff, and it didn't quite go the way she expected it to go on the kickoff.
Yeah.
And so that was her first attempt at an extra point, and she drilled it, and you could see that whole sideline just light up right there with enthusiasm behind that. And so now Arkansas Pine Bluff will try to stop some of this momentum that's going Jackson State way. And they started out with a pass and a nice gain on first down as they go to Damon Dawkins on the catch and run.
Yeah, and this sounds silly, Butch, but at the end of the day, the Golden Lions really just have to concentrate on each play. Just try to execute the best you can, right? And get some positive plays. And
if you was listening while I'm trying to get it straight, that was the first email in Jackson State history to take an extra point, and it was good.
2nd and 4 for the Golden Lions. The pass is complete to number 2, Kenji Lewis. Going to be a short gain on the play, but they're trying to do what you're talking about. 4:55 to go here. Just move the ball downfield.
Yeah, and if anything you do here, you got to maintain the ball. Maintain the ball through the rest of this quarter if you can possibly.
So Chandler Edwards, after taking a couple of series off, he's back in at quarterback for the Golden Lions. Number 17 right there on your screen. Obviously, the coaches just wanted to get him on the sidelines, let him calm down a little bit, and then restart. He goes to the run and nothing happening right there. Just a great reaction from that defensive line for the Jackson State Tigers. You see white jerseys all over the field right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Tigers are really, maybe the Piranhas after this one. They're everywhere, all over the place. I mean, just look at it. There's like 4 or 5 guys all on top of us. A little bit of a late hit there on the other part of it. Wow.
Second down coming up now, making a loss of 3 on the play. Golden Lions with the ball. Edwards back in at quarterback. Puts his back in motion. Has some time. Has a man open underneath. That is Kenji Lewis, who spins away and is going to come up with a first down for the Golden Lions. Kenji Lewis, the 6'1", 200-pound sophomore from Memphis, coming up with a big play.
Yeah, Lewis did a great job just going right into the empty spot and just sat down, waited, boom, grabbed the ball and took off. There might not be a spin move there, huh?
Well, they were moving the football last time they had it. It just unfortunately the drive came to an end. Edwards with the pass underneath again to Lewis. Down to 3:12 to go here in the first half.
Lewis really does a good job of pushing that defender to back up, and right when he's getting ready to cross over to kind of turn, as a defensive back, you're backpedaling, kind of turning. Once you do that turn, that's where he stops and digs in.
So 2nd and 6 now for the Golden Lions. May have had an offside penalty there. Don't see the flag. And there's a flag downfield, though. A little contact, and the flag is thrown downfield. Jalen Hughes was in the vicinity. He was on the ground, actually, for Jackson State.
He either grabbed Claude Coleman on his way down for 88. The Golden Warriors or not. I think that's what happened. He was falling and kind of grabbed him and slowed him down. All right. I speak blur, and what that is two fouls, off defense offsides, and then interference. There he is pulling him down right as he was falling down, and they're going to go with the interference call and take that.
Which is what you need to do in that situation. Yeah, he was yanking on Claude Coleman's jersey right there. So
what I'm going to do at halftime,
down
switch over
for
to
the
Alabama
Lions, sets
A&M
them up
Alabama
down at the
State
30-yard line with the football. Still got plenty of time for them to punch this into the end zone. 23-0. Jackson State out in front if you're just joining us. Empty backfield. Now he puts a man in motion. That's Dawkins. Was going to throw it to Dawkins, but goes over the middle high, but a nice catch, and then he couldn't hang on to it. So he had a man open, passed just a tad high.
I seen that.
Went to his big tight end right there, Tristan Ballard.
He hurt.
And we have a couple of players down, a couple of Jackson State players down.
Boy, Ballard did a good job. Watch him go up and grab it. He gets hit right inside that hip and in that rib cage. Well, that's a hard hit.
Yeah, that was B.J. Washington, number 9. He's one of the players who was shaken up on that play.
He delivered the hit. He's hurting.
Yeah, he hurt.
Shows you how tough Ballard is. But he's holding on to that side a little bit as he gets up.
Yeah, that pass was intended for Ballard. The interesting thing about Tristan Ballard, and, he's one of these guys, Coach was talking about him as, he's listed as 241. But he said if you see him in person, he looks like he's 260. I mean, he's got that kind of Adonis body and stuff. And he said, it's so cute to see he and his mom were both in grad school at the same time. And his mom recently graduated, got her master's. Now he's working on his, and he'll get his pretty soon.
How impressive is that? And I'll tell you what, you don't think his mom challenged him, right? That's just, if I could do this, you can do this, right? And again, a lot of props to him for doing that. That's impressive, going to get your master's, still playing. And again, we know he's tough by the way he took on that hit right there.
You can probably say that Jackson State has found a quarterback definitely for next season.
If you got your mom in there, and if she's doing it, and she's getting it, you got no excuses.
Sure. No.
We need to have a show about this transfer portal crap.
And again, you got a guy going for your master's, and it says a lot for Jackson State and their program of what they're trying to push guys to.
Ballard.
Don't forget, The
Who's
All-State
Arkansas
HBCU
Pine
Legacy
Bluff.
Bowl
As we watch
takes
in the
place
Jackson
Saturday,
State
February 24th,
sideline
2024
over there as they're
at Human
working on
Stadium
injured
in New
players
Orleans.
being
That's
attended
Tulane
to.
Stadium.
We see
If
the
you
Jackson
can't go
State
to the
players,
game, please
the
buy
Arkansas
2
Pine
tickets
Bluff
to send
team
somebody to
there,
the game.
and
Thank you.
Tristan Ballard, and he's just one of the guys that, and that's one of the things Coach Alonzo Hampton said about, we want these guys to be good citizens too, and we want them to achieve things.
If you
and
have
go
a
to school
student,
and go to class and do the right
the
things. And he
son
said,
or
believe it or
daughter
not,
that goes to
that's how you
HBCU
become
is
successful
graduating or
on
getting
the
ready to
football.
graduate.
Yeah,
At
I
this,
misspoke.
they have a
That's
workshop
15.
at this game,
Yeah, Arkansas Pine Bluff.
and they hire people on
And
the
again,
spot at these
you're right.
workshops.
He's certainly trying to create
The NFL is
Alonzo
hiring.
Hampton a different type
So, hey,
of character.
look
a
into
different
the
type of team.
HBCU Legacy
And
Bowl
again,
game.
you
It's a
talk
whole
about
weekend.
having his guys do chapel
Especially for
night
the
every Friday night. I think that's huge. And
juniors
about
and seniors
35
in
guys
college.
on that team
Oh,
to
hell, the
attend
people that's already
a
graduated
chapel
from there.
night on a Friday night
Put that resume
where they
in,
all
get
get
that
together.
job.
And he says he used to lead it, and now he's got players that lead it, and they take him through it. And now it's kind of a self propagating deal for the players, right? It's about them, and it's about their walk, and that's incredibly impressive.
Well,
and what a bonding moment for you.
Exactly, and it's something that they do on their own. It's not a mandatory thing that you have to show up for. It's something like that, and they want to do it. And he said he can tell you can tell it's brought the team closer, and it's made it even closer when you let the.
Also, while they're in timeout, basketball is getting ready to start, and I think it's fall ball for softball and baseball in the SWAC. Cross country championships have been decided. FAMU won that. The cross country, I think Grambling, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's Grambling. They won the regular season SWAC title in soccer. So there's a lot of good things that's happening. And like I said, basketball, I will be at home a lot more, and I will stream a lot more games. Same thing with baseball. Definitely SWAC baseball. Big baseball fan. So what they're doing right now is this is an injury timeout. They just running their mouth like I'm running mine. And like I said, once halftime come, I'm going to switch over to the Alabama A&M Alabama State game, which is at 7-7. And it just started the second quarter. Prairie View and FAMU is still scoreless with 11 minutes left in the first quarter. Bethune 7, Grambling 21 in the second quarter with 7:36 remaining. So the East can be won today, or it can be kept hope alive. But that West, man, that's gonna be a rough one to figure it out. I mean, because you know, like I was saying earlier, in the West, Southern is 3-1, Alcorn is 3-1, Prairie View is 3-1, Grambling is 2-2. Those 4 schools I named, they are nowhere near out of it. Everybody has a chance. Like I said, today, if FAMU win and it's Alabama, I think it's Alabama State win. If FAMU win, Alabama State win, FAMU wraps up the East. It'll be mathematically impossible to catch them with 6-0, and then with Jackson with Alabama State 3-2, they own the tiebreaker over Jackson State, and then it just ain't enough games left. So they would have to lose 3 games. So it ain't gonna happen. But the West, going back to the West, I still think it might come down to the last week, the Bayou Classic and the Soul Bowl. That's probably what's going to decide the West. And then you know what the Soul Bowl is? That's Jackson State versus Alcorn, and the Classic, Bayou Classic, Grambling versus Southern. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is I believe the record is tied for that. So whoever wins this one owns the tiebreaker or something like that. Yeah. So it should be a great finish to the end of the season. All right, here we go. Quit running my mouth.
Football on the attack. Blitz coming, but he gets away from it. A nice spin move. Still on his feet and stepping out of bounds. On the carry right there, Mekhi Higgins back in at quarterback. So the long break for the injury, and that Chancellor Edwards is out. And Higgins is back on that quarterback, turns in a nice run there for a first down.
I was going to say they're mixing it up, trying to make sure the Tigers don't know what's coming their way, and maybe that's the way to do it.
1st and 10 now for Arkansas Pine Bluff. As they look over to the sideline for the play. 2:13 and counting to go here in the first half. 23-0 Jackson State, but Golden Lions knocking on the door here, trying to get something going in the red zone, and movement on the offensive line. Big number 74, Kristen Love, might have been the first one to jump. We'll have to see what the officials have on this.
Boy, that's an Alka-Seltzer moment for coaches right there, because you start to get some positives going, and you get no other way to call it a mental error, right? That you just can't jump off sides. But again, I get it. As far as the linemen go, the amount of rush and the pressure you're under every time you take a snap for the Golden Lions, it is tough. And you want to make sure you get it the quickest start you possibly can, but you can't jump off sides.
Well, there's a lot going on down there now. You're trying to make sure you don't miss a call. You're trying to make sure you see what's going on. You get the snap down.
That clock operator drunk.
So here we go. On 1st and 15, pass to the end zone is broken up. 2 Jackson State defenders there made a fine play.
Look at that clock going back and forth. 1 second to 2 minutes.
Solomon Rogers was back there. He had some help with him also. Also number 8, Jalen Hughes. So this is going to be a big series right here as we go to 1:55 to go in the first half. Arkansas Pine Bluff would love to put some points on the board before halftime.
On the SWAC, the Tigers do more man-on-man than anyone else I see. Most of the defenses do a lot more zone. They challenge you every play.
Higgins had a lot of room right in front of him and wide open, and he's going to take it down to the 1-yard line. What a nice run right there by Makai Higgins on the carry.
He went down to the ground. That ball came popping out. The Tigers thought they had another fumble here. But because they're man-on-man, look, it clears out the entire middle. Just talked about that. And then he comes storming through. And again, they thought they had a fumble, but he was surely down. And that ball popped out to 1.
So 1st and goal to go for the Golden Lions. Higgins at quarterback. Blitz coming. He hands it off, and he gets around the outside and into the end zone for the touchdown for Pine Bluff. That's Kirsten Rogers on the carry, and he takes it in for the touchdown.
Wow, that's one of the few times you'll see two misses from the Tigers as far as tackles, and Rogers did a great job. I thought he was dead to rights about 3 or 4 yards back. Watch, he gets the ball. I thought right there he's gone. Bad angle right there, then he takes it in for the looked like easy touchdown. Look at that. Just a bad pursuit angle off that edge. You let them get around you, and they score a touchdown. This is big for the Golden Lions.
Did a great job bouncing it to the outside. Extra point. It is good. So they drilled it. So a nice drive by the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions, and they finished it off. That was the most important thing about that drive. They've had some good drives in this ball game, but they have not been able to finish them off, and they finished it right there. The drive, as you can see, 10 plays, 77 yards, 3 minutes, and 49 seconds before Rogers ran it in for the touchdown. 1 yard on the touchdown run.
And that is something you can build off of. I said it would be extremely hard to get long drives to score. And Alonzo Hampton can point to that and say, see, guys, we can do it, and we can do it against one of the best defense, not the defense in all of the SWAC, and we can get it done. And they're going to grab that tape. They're going to look at it and say, guys, this is what we can do. This is what we can do. So that's huge for them, 10 plays.
Driving it down and scoring and getting the points was part 1 of this equation. Part 2 is what Coach David Holloway told us, the defensive coordinator, what he told us this week. David Callaway, excuse me. What Callaway told us, he said, we can't give up any big splash plays. We cannot give up any long plays for touchdown. We got 1:28 to go in the first half. We will see if their defense can come on and shut Jackson State down. So here come the Tigers on the return. It is Spencer around the outside. Got blockers in front of him. Stevens looking for a hole. Spencer still on his feet. And finally, he just stepped out of bounds. Isaiah Spencer with a great return to set Jackson State up again with some great field position with 1:17 to go in the first half.
I love what Stevens does right here. Stevens stays and gets in front of him. Watch, he gets right behind Stevens. And Stevens just keeps working. And he's patient enough to stay right behind him, realizing he's going to create another 5, 10, 10 yards by staying right in Stevens' hip pocket. Great job on special teams. And again, you talk about giving up big plays. Obviously, the second game of the second play of the game, they gave up the big one. Right now, they have got to stay strong here and close it out on defense for the Golden Lions.
That is exactly what David Callaway told us. He wanted his team to avoid. The big kickoff return puts Jackson State in great position to maybe add some more points before the half. So Morgan goes back to pass. Backing up, and finally just throws it wide and out of bounds. But, wow, we have a flag down, and one of the offensive linemen is down right next to the flag.
Yeah, that's holding.
Well, it's funny. It's not funny, but 3 of the Tigers linemen all collided back there trying to make blocks. I would imagine there's a hold there.
That was Deontay Graham, number 64, who was down on the ground. See Morgan trying to fire up his offense there.
And that's what they talked about, why they wanted Morgan. They wanted a spark on this team. He's not afraid to tell someone when they've done something right and when they've done something wrong.
Let me ask you this. If you're offensive lineman, though, did Morgan cause that penalty by the continue to fade back and fade back and fade back? Here he goes on 1st and 20 now. Fires. This time he releases quickly, and he got it back and picked up some yardage on the play.
Yeah, you're exactly right. When Morgan gets unpredictable as a lineman, you don't know where your guy's going, and you have a tendency to hold trying to protect him.
And you got timeouts.
And sometimes you just got to throw the ball away and look for the next play.
52 seconds to go. Morgan again near the sideline completes his pass. The receiver steps out of bounds after a nice gain. That is Fabian McCray on that one. With the good squeeze of the football.
Look at that down.
And now we're going to back him up again. So we do have another flag down on the field.
Oh, wait a minute.
That is unfortunate for Jackson State because they had the great field position and they were on the move, but now they're moving the wrong way.
And again, mental errors, you got to finish. You got to finish. You got to maintain your intensity, maintain your focus. And again, that's something Jackson State says they got to constantly work on all the time. They should be trying to close out and close out the Golden Lions, but instead they're making mistakes, costing themselves. You can't beat yourself in a game like this.
Well, I will add this on to that comment because the one thing they've done today is they've overcome penalties. They've made penalties,
sure,
but they've overcome them with big plays. So, but that eventually catches up to you.
Yeah,
it usually does.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and they are talented, so they do find the way to overcome. But I'm talking from a coach's perspective. That's what they're after, and they're like, look, because you can't keep doing it. You can't always overcome. Right? It's just like every once in a while you get lucky. You can overcome some turnovers and you find a way to win. But at the end of the day, long term, you can't live on it. I cannot decipher that.
So we missed that explanation there. And
they just calling any damn thing.
Tigers will have the football, and they're looking down, and they're looking at 19 yards again for a first down.
I'd say watch one of those receiver screens that they're going to do. They can get a good chunk, about 10 plays, and get to the sidelines, stop the clock. But I don't see them stacked, so it looks like they're not in position for that. But.
Yeah, they have 2 wideouts to the left, 2 wideouts to the right. Jacoby and Morgan at quarterback. Going to pitch it. Throws underneath, inside to his running back. Gets around the outside, has some room, and steps out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. That's J.D. Martin, and that's his first action in some time this year. So good to see him back and looking healthy and in the backfield and making a big contribution for the Tigers today. 27 seconds to go now. Morgan again going quickly. Has some time. Cocks it underneath again. A big hit, but a catch is made over there by number 19. That is Kobe Paul with a catch for the Jackson State Tigers.
Wow, Kobe Paul.
Now we have a timeout on the field with 20 seconds.
I thought for sure that ball was coming out. He was hit hard. Watch when this ball gets to him. And again, great timing by the defense. It's like bam. I mean, as soon as that ball gets there, but it's one of those things. You're going to get hit anyway. You might as well catch it, right? That's what coaches tell you. But it's easier to say than to do.
This is, you hate to compare people and say this guy looks like this guy looks like whoever.
Yep.
But I'm going to say it anyway. Jacoby and Morgan, there's something about his delivery that reminds me of Vince Young. I got to see Vince Young in high school, got to see Vince Young at UT, got to see Vince Young with the Titans. There's something about his delivery that reminds me of Vince Young, about the way he's delivering the football, but he's delivering it right on the money right now.
He certainly he's getting more accurate as this game gets going, right? Earlier, he was missing some high, missed a couple of good plays. He's been more accurate since then.
20 seconds to go in the ball game now. Passes underneath again. This time it's complete to Hagler, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So again, it's down to 14 seconds to go in the first half. Tigers are going to take it as far as they can. They're knocking on the door, though, right there. Time is obviously
Alabama
more important than the
A&M
down.
10.
Second down and 4
Alabama State
to go, and
7.
we do have a whistle on the field and a timeout called by Arkansas Pine Bluff. And there you see head coach right there, Alonzo Hampton, on the sideline trying to pump up his defense and see if they could get in to the locker room trailing only 23-7.
I think what he's saying is, look.
Once again, update on scores. Bethune-Cookman 14, Grambling 21. Second quarter, 5 minutes left. Second quarter, 3:26 left. Alabama A&M 10, Alabama State 7. Florida A&M 7, Prairie View 0. First quarter.
Timeout remaining. So that's a good timeout to have in your back pocket if you're TC Taylor, in case you need to get the field goal unit out there.
I think you're going to see McCray, or you're going to see J.D. Martin possibly drag somewhere in the middle and let them see if they keep it in.
Second down. Morgan looking to the end zone,
Oh,
and he goes
wide
high,
open, man.
And his receiver was separating right there at the goal line, but the pass was too high for Kobe Paul.
He's wide open, brother.
Well, he went in the middle. I think Kobe Paul got probably grabbed a little bit. Looked like he got slowed down right there towards the end.
10 seconds to go now. So this ball will probably go into the end zone also on third down.
Question now is if they don't get it here, do they go for it on fourth or they kick it?
Well, and that's an interesting question to ask. Do you set up your field goal kicker for a kick, or do you take your shot in the end zone? You got time. 10 seconds to go. You're sitting on the timeout. Third down. Morgan for the end zone. Passes, and it's going to be incomplete. And he had what he wanted to have. He just didn't get enough on that football. He had the defensive back with his head turned, and he tried to get the ball to the receiver, but he just underthrew it a little bit.
Yeah, and quite honestly, his receiver, Cotillion, actually helped him out by not doing something that allowed that defensive back to turn around. Because if the DB would have turned around, that ball probably would have been right in his easy for an interception, actually.
So Watson will come on with 5 seconds to go to attempt the field goal. Good snap, good hold. Kick from Watson is
good.
Wow, he missed it.
Missed it.
Wide right would have to be. It was trying to hook back in. That just took a funny movement on that football.
Yeah, I was going to say it hooked back in after the posts. It looks like he had the action he wanted. It just didn't happen as fast.
Now the officials are having a meeting down on the field. There's something they're talking over here. But wow, that had a lot of bad English on that kick. Or something going on. Oh, it's called against the defense, decline.
What?
That's an interesting set of circumstances because after the kick, time ran out on the clock. So we're at half. We'll see as they straighten out this situation.
Surely you wouldn't decline it if you got the state. Yeah,
fourth down again.
Man, I think that referee been drinking some of them Coors Light I've been drinking.
On here, and once again, it's another mistake by Arkansas Pine Bluff that may end up costing them some points. So Watson will attempt the field goal again, and
all right, Watson.
It's great to have a second chance because you're in golf. That second guy is always the better guy. So we will see as Dylan Watson has another attempt at the field goal. This time he hits it. It's up and through, and Jackson State will tack on 3 more. So the penalty by Arkansas Pine Bluff was costly. They missed the field goal, and now he had an opportunity to put the points back on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but the big opportunity for Golden.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing this one and switch over to the Alabama.
10
got 29
So they're on the board.
location. They need to get to the Alabama State 35-yard line to keep this drive alive.
Timeout, Alabama A&M.
Timeout. A&M. First charge, timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout. 30 seconds.
So Alabama State still has one timeout. Alabama A&M now has 2 timeouts.
So a little bit of a chess match now.
And Coach Maynard not happy with Xavier Langford.
He wants to see some consistency. And again, both teams coming off a bye week. You know, they had a chance to regroup. Both teams had big wins 2 weeks ago on the road. And you see Xavier Langford, what he did 2 weeks ago against Grambling in Grambling's homecoming game. 193 yards on the ground, 127 through the air, passed for 1 touchdown, ran for 2 more as he did his best Steve McNair impersonation in that ball game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, in the third quarter with 9:36 left in that ball game, the score was tied at 24. And then Alabama A&M went on when it scored 2 more touchdowns, say 3 more touchdowns. They went on to get a 23-yard touchdown pass to Jacoby Hewitt. Donovan Eaglin had a 2-yard touchdown run, and then Xavier Langford capped it off with a 6-yard touchdown run. They scored 21 unanswered in a quarter and a half. Caught.
Oh, he
And
goes.
that is going to be
Touchdown.
the wide receiver, Terrell Gardner, into the end zone for a touchdown.
Wow.
And so just when you think Alabama A&M will not be able to recover that 6, Xavier Langford connects with Terrell Gardner.
Well, great job by Gardner. A little one-on-one move in the flat, puts him in the spin cycle and takes it to the house. That's the way you make up for a mistake. You wipe out the touchdown of your teammate Young, and then you come back with a big 6 to give your team the lead right before halftime.
That's what you want is momentum going into the locker room. Here's the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. And so now with 19 seconds left here in the first half of play, Gardner with the touchdown pass from Langford puts Alabama A&M up 14-10.
Yeah, great out-breaking route against man coverage of Alabama State. He makes the move after the catch, and there's no one between him and the end zone. And just like that, Alabama A&M likely going into halftime with the lead.
Jacoby Robinson was the defender on that play. You know, look, that time you just saw Terrell Gardner do a great job of just catching the ball and going back to the inside. 8 plays, 70 yards, 3:07 off the clock. Langford, 39-yard touchdown pass to Gardner.
I mean, you talk about a huge turn of events and momentum shift as you see Gardner posing with the belt and the king crown there, if you will. But a huge change in momentum as Alabama State held the lead for most of this first half.
And for Terrell Gardner, that is just his first touchdown reception of the year. And this kick goes to Alabama State at about the 39-yard line. And that's where they will take over with 17 seconds remaining. Well, that almost strikes, and you never know when he's going to strike, but that time, Xavier Langford did a great job in looking at things, and boom, touchdown.
Well, near on 39-yard line, Alabama State still has an opportunity. They have 1 timeout remaining, so they want to see if they can get in either field goal position or have a shot at a Hail Mary. If they can maybe get 1 completion here, maybe try to get it up to midfield, try to get it into Alabama A&M territory.
Damon Stewart with the pass, gets it into the seam to Jawan Howell, 9 seconds remaining.
And that's exactly what they want to get the ball past midfield, use that final timeout. Now they have an opportunity.
Alabama State, their third and final timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout. 30 seconds.
Alabama State decides to call the timeout with 9 seconds remaining.
Yeah, now they have an opportunity to either take a Hail Mary shot at the end zone, or they can go sideline to see if they can pick up maybe another 10 to 15 yards if they can get a quick shot at a sideline. So those would be their two options here. Anything in the middle of the field, time is likely going to expire.
Well, last time out there for Alabama State. Boy, look at the crowd just to see of people watching this ball game. And, look, we asked both coaches, just how big this is. And both coaches said, it's huge for Coach Robinson. He's had just really a unique look at this from not only a fan, not only, of course, a player, a coach, a broadcaster. He's had every look at this except as an official.
Exactly.
Damon Stewart back to pass. 6 seconds remaining. He's going to air this one out. It's up. It is.
Oh, that's touchdown.
Is it caught?
That's
Touchdown, Alabama State. Caught by Keyshawn Johnson. What a catch to end the first half of play.
Oh, my goodness. What a throw by Stewart. And Keyshawn Johnson going up top, and the officials still trying to unpile everyone. And flags continue to come out.
Trying to throw a flag.
They have already signaled a touchdown for the Hornets, and they did excellent execution. The first down play, they get it to midfield, get in position for the Hail Mary, and then a sensational throw and catch. Stewart to Johnson.
But it's about to be interesting.
Once again,
swag officials are crazy.
This one. What a throw. Keyshawn Johnson putting his body in between the ball and the man.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number one. That penalty will be enforced in the second half. Extra point.
So that's going to be passive. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike against Keyshawn Johnson. Look at the elevation on this catch.
I mean, Johnson is the only Hornet in the picture surrounded by 5 Bulldogs, and he comes down with the football. Now, I'm not sure what he did at the bottom of the pile to get called for unsportsmanlike, but nevertheless.
And the extra point is good, and we end the first half with 2 touchdowns in the last few minutes. Keyshawn Johnson catches the Hail Mary from his quarterback, Damon Stewart, and the Bulldogs and the Hornets putting on a show here in Birmingham. 17-14, Hornets on top.
NFL football, Little Caesars, and my lucky chair. I'm not changing anything.
Morning, girl.
Morning, trash.
Good night, hon.
All right, it's halftime in just about all the games. Let's see if any scores have changed. Not too much that I haven't reported on, besides the Valley Alcorn. Okay, Alcorn is 10, Valley is 3 in the second quarter. Fairview is laying an egg. FAMU is up 14-0. Of course, what we just watched, 16-14, Alabama State over Alabama A&M. And the game that I'm actually streaming is 26-7, Jackson State versus Pine Bluff, which is in halftime. And sometimes ESPN show the halftime. Sometimes they don't. So we just gotta wait and see. But if you just joining or tuning in, the game that I'm streaming is the the Jackson State, Arkansas, Pine Bluff. Jackson State jumped out on them real early, real heavy, real fast, and Pine Bluff has really never really recovered. The Gremlin, which I'm not surprised that they defense have given up 14 points after they scored 21. So it is what it is with Gremlin defense. Offense is unstoppable, but they can't stop nobody. Now, Perry View, this is kind of a shocker that their defense would give up 14 points in that first quarter. But I expect Florida A&M to wind down, and Perry View will still have a chance to win that game. Now, Valley, good luck, man. That's all I can tell you. You got a field goal. That's more than you had against Jackson State at this point in the game. So we shall see. All right, put it back on that.
The big people come out to celebrate and honor what he's done and brought to the conference.
To the conference, no doubt about it. SWAC Hall of Fame honorees here. The SWAC announced its 2023 Hall of Fame honorees featuring Mississippi Valley State's Ashley Ambrose. Remember him from the NFL.
Yeah.
Grambling's Marie Curry. Alcorn's Isaac Hope. Right there, the greatest show on turf, Isaac Hope. And how about Charles McClellan Sr., the father of the commissioner, Charles McClellan Jr. there.
That sounds familiar to me.
Yes, who had a basketball career at Jackson State, did a great job there. And also we see Gloucester Richardson. And how about Texas Southern's Eddie Davis? We all knew, everybody in and around the Houston area knew Eddie Davis. He's no longer with us, but it's great to see Eddie honored in the SWAC Hall of Fame as an honoree. So that was outstanding. And also the SWAC soccer tournament. For those who are interested, SWAC soccer tournament will be played on Thursday, November 2nd through Sunday, November 5th on the campus of Prairie View A&M. So that is very exciting.
That's
about
a nice
that. Get
campus
out there
Prairie
and
View
watch
has.
the soccer tournament over at Prairie View if you can. SWAC News and
I'll
Notes
be in New
presented
Orleans
by
that weekend.
GM today. Let's check out our scoreboard. A lot of action going on. So far, Mississippi Valley State, Alcorn, nothing there. They haven't kicked off yet, but how about at the half? Grambling leading Bethune-Cookman by only 7. Then it's Alabama State and Alabama A&M. The Magic City Classic, that's going to be war.
It is war.
16-14 at the half. And then take a look at the scoreboard down there.
Yeah, you got Florida A&M over Prairie View A&M. And again, we talked earlier, if FAMU wins that game, Alabama A&M stays behind Alabama State. Florida A&M, FAMU will win the East. And then, of course, you got Texas Southern at Southern and Southern in the East.
That's always a big game
He'll be
there.
primed up in Baton Rouge.
Yes, our SWAC scoreboard
I
brought
will
to you
have
by
the Texas
PFC,
Southern
and so is the slate
Southern
of
game
games
on
which are coming up
after
next
this
week.
game.
As you can see, November 2nd, Mississippi Valley State takes on Bethune-Cookman. Florida A&M is at Alabama A&M. Southern at Alcorn State. UAPB taking on Prairie View A&M. And then our game, Texas Southern at Jackson State. And then we wrap up with Grambling versus Alabama State. What do you think about our game next week, Texas Southern versus Jackson State?
Yeah, no, I mean, Texas Southern is getting better and better. But again, they're going to have their hands full right there. I mean, no doubt about it.
Well, we're going to take another time out. We'll be back with some highlights and stats. That's coming up next. 26-7, Jackson State out in front.
There's a timeout.
You are watching SWAC football presented by Pepsi. We're at the half. Jackson State leads Arkansas Pine Bluff 26-7 behind 3 touchdown passes from Jacoby and Morgan. We'll be right back with more. Stick around. We are just about set to get the action underway here in the third quarter. Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas. 26-7, Jackson State out in front. It's a big first half for the Tigers behind 3 TD passes from Jacoby and Morgan, the transfer from Syracuse, but Jackson State will kick off to start the second half. Give me some of your thoughts on the first half, Jorge.
Well, I think Morgan was fantastic. Certainly his best game. I mean, watching him, 16 of 22, 263 yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, he has been growing, and coaches said that's what they wanted to see. And then again, I thought that big touchdown from the Golden Lions was big right before the half.
And that was Donald Johnson there on the return. Takes it up to the 33-yard line. Let's take a look at those stats you were just talking about, and you can see when it gets down to total offense, 340 to 131.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the discrepancy is there. I mean, that's what it is. And again, time of possession isn't that big, but when you're a quick striker, it doesn't matter. But that 340 pounding on that defense, we'll see if the Golden Lions defense can hold up and not let this kid a runaway train. That's what you're looking for, and find some players that step up in hard times.
And also the third down conversions. Jackson State 5 of 9, but only 1 of 6 for the Golden Lions.
Yeah, and that's execution, and that's something that you'd expect of a team that's growing, and they've got guys creating culture, got new guys trying to see who does what, who'll step up. And that's just part of the Golden Lions' maturity of growing forward. So, I mean, I think it's something you kind of expected coming into this game. And again, the Tigers are in rare form, and they're a team prime.
And Jackson State will go on defense first as we get ready to start the second half. First play from scrimmage. And the give is to Kirsten Rogers around the left side. He's going to pick up a couple on the carry there. Chancellor Edwards came out as the starting quarterback to start the second half for Arkansas Pine Bluff. And, he in and out in the first half. Give me some of your thoughts about the job he did.
Well, I mean, you got to have players step up. I thought there was a point there at the beginning. He was looked a little nervous, and then he kind of settled down, and then he kind of lost a little bit again. And they're going to see if he can put it together in the second half.
So he throws underneath. Dawkins slips a tackler, still on his feet. How about that? Dawkins turned nothing into something right there, because Damon Dawkins did a great job of breaking that tackle.
But it starts off with Edwards putting the ball with him in motion. He doesn't have to stop. He can maintain that speed. But look at that. I mean, that was a tenacious hit. He just kept going and kept rolling.
Yeah, that's Peppers who missed him first. And you don't see Peppers miss anything in the backfield.
True.
So that's a first down right there for the Golden Lions. Damon Dawkins on the carry. This time, Edwards throws it short again to Rogers, and Rogers slipped down. It's going to be a loss on the play. Maybe a loss of 3 yards, as he just lost his footing and slipped down. In case you're just joining us, we did have a lot of rain during the pregame, so the field is probably still a little slick from some of that rain. So second and long now after that play, lost 2 yards. Edwards will look again and change the play this time. He has 2 receivers to his left, and he has 2 flanked out to the right. This time he turns and he gives to the running back, and there's room inside. And it looked like it was B.J. Curry who carried that time. So they're doing a good job of alternating the backs in and out now for the Golden Lions.
Yeah, the last time they ran a run play, it was more of a counter. This time they didn't counter. They just ran straight at it and had a good blocking up front, point of attack. Got some good positive goals.
Third and about 9, it appears, coming up here. Pass down the sideline is deep, and boy, that was almost dropped it in a bucket. Wow, did you see that? The official whipped out the flag and then put it back in his pocket. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
And we may have an injured Golden Lion on the play. It looked like it was Kenji Lewis who was streaking down the sideline and then fell awkwardly.
Yeah, you don't want him injured. And look at this. I think it's because he steps out. And you see him, he's pulled it out, then he goes, not so much.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he saw, thought he saw, then didn't see.
Isaias Guthrie on the coverage. And now we have a timeout on the field, so they're going to have to get that straightened out. That was interesting. So another player was shaken up on it, and that was the receiver, Kenji Lewis, who was streaking down the sideline, and he fell awkwardly.
Yeah, and you can't afford to lose Lewis. Lewis has been a big playmaker for him, and he's certainly probably the most dangerous guy, I believe, on their team right there. 4 catches, 35 yards. You can't afford to lose him. But now 4th and 4. Lions sending the offense back out there to go for it.
12:34 to go here in the third quarter, and they had some momentum right before the half. They moved the football, and Coach Alonzo Hampton here is trying to roll the dice here and see if we can keep this drive alive in the third quarter. So he has Johnson in at receiver. Pressure on the quarterback, throws underneath, has Johnson. Johnson's going to pick up the first down as he steps out of bounds. So a good call by Coach Alonzo Hampton. And how about the move right there by Donald Johnson III, the transfer from Grambling?
Well, I'll tell you, my thought originally on that, when Johnson kind of came back a bit, I thought, man, you need to plant and go surge forward to get that first down.
But he's a kickoff returner.
Yeah.
So if he gets in space, those are the guys that can make it happen, and he made it happen on that play. So a big first down for the Golden Lions. Edwards turns, and he's going to pass it again to Johnson again. Johnson's still on his feet. He's going to be pulled down at about the 20.
Yeah, a lot of motion in the backfield there, right? Take the two running backs and then just pull the ball back and then throw it outside. That keeps the defense on its heels a bit. And Johnson does a nice job picking up some yardage. Watch. Fake, and then throw. Johnson's pretty shifty. You're right.
Yeah, he's tough to get in space. When he's got space to work, he's a tough guy to get down. So 2nd and 4 coming up now for the Golden Lions. Rodgers in motion. Quarterback's going to keep it. Has a lot of room in front of him, still on his feet, and he's in for the touchdown. That is Mekhi Higgins on the keeper, who got snuck into the ball game at quarterback, and on the quarterback keeper there. That was a great play call. The motion away, and he ran back the opposite way, and it's a touchdown for Pine Bluff.
And again, the issue is you got Jackson State, who plays man up a lot. So you just run your receivers right on out of there, and your defenders are all looking at the receiver and backing up. You clear amazing space, and you're right, they snuck Higgins in there and then just ran that play for the touchdown.
And he made a great move on Jaheel Hazel to get in for the touchdown. Extra point is good. And so the first possession of the second half, Arkansas Pine Bluff turns it into points. Nice run by the quarterback, Mekhi Higgins, for the touchdown, 26-14.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs. Committed not just in speech, but through the revitalization and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
When you join the HBCU family, you become part of the tradition of breaking barriers in your community, breaking ground in your career, and bringing it with everything you do. From how you look to how you move in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. That's why Academy Sports and Outdoors is proud to celebrate the HBCU legacy and all those to add to it in their own way.
Coach Alcindor and Jorge Vargas here with you at Simmons Bank Stadium.
UAPB said they ain't done yet.
They just got
Simmons Bank Field, excuse me. And how about Arkansas Pine Bluff? 8 plays, 62 yards, and 3 minutes and 38 seconds before the quarterback ran it in for the touchdown.
It was deliberate and efficient.
It was. And they started the second half exactly the way they wanted. And here comes the kickoff to Jackson State. And the Tigers will return it from the 2-yard line. Big hole. And he's going to get it all the way up to the 35. And here comes the laundry.
You've seen it.
There are flags all over the place. If you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You see that he hit him right in the back.
There's 10 flags and 4 refs.
You gonna get the ball like a damn 10 or 12 yard
A
line.
lot of linen out there, I'll tell you that. Either way you look at it.
How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think all 5 of them. Is there 5 or 6 to occur? 6 to occur, right?
What we do know is somebody wasn't very discreet because everybody saw it.
Blatant holding. An extra 5 yards for that.
So there's DJ Stevens, the big tight end, the All-American for Jackson State. He's having himself a whale of a ball game. 2 catches, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he has a long of 70 yards. That came on the second play of the game as he took it to the house.
Yeah, what do you do? Well, I just catch 2 passes and I score twice. That's how I do it. I don't waste time. That's what he says. Some of those people catch 8, 9 catches. I just catch 2 and get to the house.
The penalty brought the Tigers back to the 12-yard line, and they go to Martin running around the right side, and he's going to pick up about 3 tough yards. Make it, call it 4 yards inside. Got a good spot on that, and they missed him. You know, he's a good running back, used to be a starting running back, injured his toe, and was really struggling with that. And now, with Irv Mulligan out, they really needed him today. So 2nd and 6. Morgan's going to keep it. No, he throws off the fake, and a good pass. It's completed for the first down for the Jackson State Tigers. That is number 9, Fabian McCray on the catch and run for the first down.
McCray does a great job of just getting to the open spot when his quarterback's in trouble.
This time, Morgan gives inside, and the running back bounces off a couple of would-be tacklers and just determined to pick up some extra yardage is Martin again. J.D. Martin, the 6'1", 195-pounder.
Yeah, Martin now over 100 yards for the day with receiving and catching, about 50-50. So he's certainly your well-rounded back out of the backfield, can catch it and do something with it. And also he has shown he's running really well, 54 yards on the ground.
Good change of pace guy. He's got the speed, but he's also got all the hesitation moves. So 2nd and 5. Pass near the sideline. It's going to be incomplete.
Look at it. Wasn't in.
Trying to hit Fabian McCray over there, but good defense again by the Golden Lions. And now we have, let's see, we got the ball spotted. We're good. I thought it was a flag, but no, it wasn't a flag. So Morgan now will have a 3rd and 5 to work with. Laprel Boyd on the coverage on that previous play. And there was movement up front. No flag. Morgan pass. And it's going to be intercepted near the sideline.
I told you. It was almost intercepted.
Morgan floated that ball, and it was picked off by the Golden Lions. So the Lions have already put 1 touchdown on the board. That's Kyrie Williams with the intercepted pass.
That last one.
Yeah, and again, he had all the time in the world. And again, he tried to force this ball in there. Double coverage. You can't throw. You have to throw a perfect strike to get it within there. He just should have came off that ball or thrown it away.
Well, Laprel Boyd had him covered low. Kyrie Williams had him over the top. And Kyrie Williams comes up with the INT. The junior from Akron, Ohio. So the big turnover goes to Arkansas Pine Bluff, and they have the football for the 2nd time here in the second half, trailing 26-14.
Now, do you take that sudden change and you attack deep, or do you stay within your offense? We'll see.
We'll see. Chancellor Edwards comes back at quarterback. He's going to take a shot. Now he throws it underneath. Gets it cleared out for Rogers. Rogers still on his feet, spinning. How about that spin move?
The offense coordinator, Bobby Acosta, mixing things up a lot, doing a great job getting them down the field, scripted in the first part, and then he probably had a little bit of a script working for the second half of saying, here's how we're going to attack it, guys. Here's our adjustments. He's done a great job here now in the second half, and let's see if they can continue and close and finish.
Well, they've done a great job here in the second half, and once again, the Golden Lions are on the move again with the football resting at about the 46-yard line. Edwards in at quarterback. Looking underneath again, fires incomplete. He threw it behind Dawkins and in front of the other receiver, but a late flag comes in there, and something went on in the secondary.
I think Isaac Peppers hit him before when the ball was being thrown. He didn't give him an opportunity to catch that ball. That's what it appeared to me. Watch, the receiver gets right there, and he's hitting him. before he has a chance to go get that ball. I think that's where the flag is.
Wow.
So a big bump by Isaac Peppers, but every time you run a route in his zone, it's gonna happen.
He's like, I may have gotten called on this one, but still, when you come by the middle, you're gonna say hello to number 13.
The big penalty because it gives the Golden Lions a first down with 8:46 to go here in the third quarter.
We kind of joke about that, but there's no doubt that when you're a receiver and you're running patterns, you know where the big hitters are, and you can get some alligator arms really quick when you know they're around.
Wait a minute.
Whoa, now they're moving the football back in the opposite direction.
So I'm not sure what they called there.
So the Golden Lions will take over. Ball back on the 48-yard line.
It's still 1st and 10.
And they're going to signal the first down on the play. So they'll go 1st and 10 from there. The give is off, and it's going to be a pickup of about 6 as they go inside. A nice recovery there by that Jackson State defense.
Coverage.
That was 35 Rogers again on the carry.
Ain't no recovery, man.
He's got some good moves.
He's getting an opportunity to carry the football today. Goes to Dawkins. Dawkins has been, ball comes out, and Dawkins got it back. You talk about getting a fortunate bounce. I was just about to say Dawkins has been making things happen for the Golden Lions here, and a big pop there, and the ball came out.
And again, this is what coaches worry about. I mean, you want your guys to make big plays, but look how that ball's kind of sitting on the outside. They talked about holding that ball tight into your chest, not towards the side, and that's where that ball came out. But fortunate enough for the Golden Lions to recover.
Anthony Petty with the big hit for the Tigers that jarred that ball loose. So that will set up a 3rd and short. Now 3rd and 1 coming up for the Golden Lions. And now the officials are going to walk in again and talk about something here. And they want to visit a little bit.
Do that on another time, right? Visit later. Where are we going to eat after the game? We don't need to do that right now, guys. You can take that up later.
It's a big first down coming up. You know that Alonzo Hampton would like to see his team convert this and continue this drive.
3rd and 1.
Like just a little spot of the ball issue.
We're ready to go now. 7:40 as the clock was restarted. Turn. He doesn't give it to Rogers. Throws to Johnson.
Good play.
And
Good
Johnson's
catch.
going to have the first down. First down for the Golden Lions.
That was a quick trigger there, right? He knew exactly where he was going to go with the ball. And Johnson did a good job of just getting right to the hole, sitting down, catching it.
So Johnson has been a big target. He's been the primary target so far here in the second half from Chancellor Edwards. And Edwards will throw again on first down. Wanted to go deep.
Run it.
And then he pulled it down, and you could tell. I thought it was fitting the way Coach Alonzo Hampton described it. He said, doesn't have the big arm. Won't, wow you with that arm. Doesn't have the speed to wow you either, but he just makes things happen. And that's what we've seen today. So he steps out. Mekhi Hagan steps in now on 2nd and 8.
Look for Hagan to try to run here.
6:30 to go here in the third quarter. Puts Johnson in motion. And Higgins takes the hole, takes the
right
run.
up the middle.
He's got a lot of open spaces in front of him. He had one man to beat, and he might have taken that one to the house.
Didn't pile up. He still won't go down.
That is Jackson State's Achilles this year. You do not have a linebacker for it.
Bring it. But again, they did the same thing. They cleared out. Acosta's definitely seen something he likes as far as clearing out, spread everyone out, and then let him get in there and bang away. And just and again, I think the Tigers are going to have to get out of man and go to zone every time he's in there.
If we have time, we're going to look at that again.
All right, Fairview just scored.
FAMU
We
will see
14,
as they
Fairview
pick it up
7.
on 1st and 10.
Second
There was a
quarter.
great block by
7 minutes
Rogers
left.
on that play that opened the whole thing up for him. And you see Johnson in motion again, looking to throw back to Johnson.
Good
Got
pass.
him in the open space. As Johnson still on his feet, gets around the outside, and then a late flag again after he picked up about 6 yards. And you see all the Tigers pointing back like it's against Arkansas Pine.
He grabbed his jerseys.
You've got so much good rhythm in their offense right now going on. Get a flag there is tough.
Here's the plus 35 on the left there.
Oh, yeah, great job. And again, that opened the whole thing up. And again, that was on Peppers. And Peppers, he fights through any kind of blocks. But you're right. Not only did he engage him, he turned him just enough and held him up enough before he can recover.
Not a lot of running backs like to necessarily stick their nose in there unless you're talking about a fullback.
Correct.
That's a good block. So 1st and 10 now for the Golden Lions. We're down to 5:25 to go here in the third quarter. Higgins looks back over to the sidelines now.
And see that penalty puts you at a 1st and 17, man. That is just tough for your offense. Look how tight the Tigers are. They're pushing up. They are challenging them right now.
Here comes the blitz on the play. Higgins under pressure. He avoids it. The first wave, but the second wave got him.
Wow.
So he did a good job of escaping the first guys that got through there. But after that, he was wiped
pressure
out
this
on the
kid.
second wave.
What the Tigers did said, okay, Higgins, you want to run? Let's run, right? And they just came at him. I mean, that was tough there. The Tigers just challenged him and said, we're
into
on.
a touchdown. 14-21. Grambling up.
I think you're right, because up to that
Every
point, the
game is
quarterback
one
rotation has been
possession,
working
except
really well
Alcorn and Valley.
here in the second half. They've been getting both of them to use their strengths.
Alcorn
And
is
now we
winning
have
24,
2nd and
Valley.
15 to go for the Golden Lions. Looking up top, down toward
Put
the
him
end
out of
zone,
bounds.
and it's
Yeah,
a
that's
little
all
too
you gotta
long.
do. There you do.
So
That's all
Edwards
you
took
gotta
a
do,
shot,
ride him.
was trying to hit Derek White down the sidelines and just couldn't squeeze that football in there.
Yeah, and I think what White needs, it's easy to say, obviously, but you have to create some space between the sidelines and yourself, a place where your quarterback can put the ball. If you're running dead center on the sidelines, there's no extra room. And that defensive back is right on top of you, and he don't care about anything past the sidelines.
We've still got a lot of football to play, but this is one of the bigger plays of the second half right here. 3rd and 20, but they really need to get some points on the board. So Arkansas Pine Bluff, and the pass is into the backfield, and it's not going to go anywhere. A great play.
Wow.
Right there by number 39. That is Philip Webb, who made a great stop in the backfield for Jackson State.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, this is picturesque tackling right there. Grabs him by the waist, rides him down. He says, "Nuh-uh, not today, my friend."
That was Jamerson, who we really hadn't seen a lot of in this ball game, but he didn't even have a chance to get started because Philip Webb, the big 6'5", 265-pounder, he's a transfer from LSU, coming up with a big-time play there for the Tigers.
Yeah, and with that loss, it puts the Golden Lions really in a really odd predicament. I mean, 4th and 20.
Looks like they're going to go for it right now. That probably puts them out of field goal range, so I don't know that they have a choice. So we do have a timeout on the field, and they're going to talk about this and try to come up with another one of those special plays. And while they do that, we're going to go to break. Jackson State out in front, 26-14.
Well, we got time. Scores. Bethune-Cookman, 14. Grambling, 21. Third quarter, 11 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Third quarter, Alabama A&M, 14. Alabama State, 17. 13:29 left in the third quarter. Perry View, 7. Florida A&M, 14. Second quarter, 7 minutes and 15 seconds left. That game is on ESPNU. Valley, 3. Alcorn, 24. Fourth quarter with 2:33 left. And first quarter, Texas Southern 0, Southern 0. 5:33 left. So all the SWAC games are pretty tight today except the Valley game. It's like I said, everybody's a one-possession game. Well, Arkansas Pine Bluff needs 2 possessions, and they crazy as hell if they go for this, man. Pooch punt that thing. Because if you don't, you're going to end up giving him basically where you caught your interception. That's basically where you're going to end up giving them the ball back. Oh, well. Hey, I ain't no damn coach. It is what it is. I hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday evening. Hope that rain ain't down there too bad from wherever you're at, because it's a monsoon over here, out here in Texas. Rain on and off all doggone week. So it's all good. And ESPN Plus, depending on who's playing, sometimes they show commercials, sometimes they don't. And then YouTube, that gets funny. Certain things that you show, they'll end up blocking you or shadowing you and whatever. Here we go. Let's get back to it.
Well, the Golden Lions have talked about it, and now they've sent the punting unit out onto the field. They were obviously considering whether or not they should go for that 4th down play, but they will punt it away to the Tigers. Jeremy Baker gets his kick high. The fair catch is made for, and Jackson State.
That's a good punt.
The ball at about the 13-yard line. What do you think about quick? Well, actually, we're going to take a break. So I'll ask you that when we come back. 26-14. We'll be right back.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of Black leaders seeking to drive real change. And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the revitalization and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Tigers from Jackson State getting set to go on offense here with a 26-14 lead. We're down to 3:11 to go here in the third quarter. Jacoby and Morgan made his second start at quarterback today. And Jorge, I'm going to ask you in just a minute how you think he's doing so far. Morgan on the keeper here this time, and he has nowhere to go because he's trapped and pulled down in the backfield. A nice tackle right there by Rico Dozier, who actually came into this game with 83 tackles this year. But we were talking about Morgan. What are your impressions of him so far?
Well, he's certainly grown. He's gotten better. Early in the game in the first quarter, I thought he was a little bit inaccurate. It took a little while to make some decisions, but 17 of 25, 278 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's not a bad day.
Here comes the blitz. Dozier came again. They're coming after him, and he finds Hagler underneath. It's a good job by Morgan, not panicking, staying calm, cool, and collected under pressure. They did send the blitz that time, but he got it off, and it's going to be a nice gain on the play.
Yeah, but Morgan, in that case, he made the right decision. But there's been a couple of them, I was going to say a minute ago, too, is that he's almost too calm sometimes and figures he can get rid of it. And he's taken a couple of sacks that he just needs to get rid of the ball and say it's a bad play and get rid of it.
3rd and 4 coming up now for the Tigers. Morgan looking to throw again, has Hagler again, and this has been one of his best games. And that's just going to depend on where they spot it. Will they give him the forward progress? Look like they are, and it's going to be a first down for Jackson State. So he got the forward progress on the catch.
Hagler's a load.
Yeah, 6'4", 250, graduate student. I mentioned earlier he transferred in from Marshall, native of Sulphur, Louisiana. And it's a big first down for Jackson State, as they were in a big hole back there after that punt. And they go to the running game this time. It's Martin who spins, and he could not get away. Number 21 is Grant Ewell, who had a hand on that shoulder pads and kind of was able to spin him down.
But what Ewell Jr. did a really good job of, watch him. He just breaks down and makes him have to keep going right. He gets in that hip pocket and he just stays there. And that slowed him down. If he wasn't able to get that tackle, he had friends and family there helping him out with Rico Dozer right behind him.
It's a good thing to have. 2nd and 9. Morgan fires a strike complete to McCray. Fabian McCray is going to pick up another first down.
And that puts Morgan over 300 yards passing, which that's a pretty daggum good day. If you'd ask Coach, what would you want a 300-yard passer today? And he would have been extremely excited about that.
He would have been very happy about it. But T.C. Taylor really likes this guy. You know, you could see him just start to beam when you ask him about Morgan and the job he's done this year. They feel like he has so much potential to be even better than he's doing right now. So Morgan to pass again, to Hagler again. It's another completion. Call it good for 9 yards. Excuse me, that's Seven McGee on the catch out there. Seven McGee has been quiet today. We haven't heard a lot from him, but that's his first catch. And we do have an injured Golden Lion down on the field right at about the 50-yard line. And so there's a stop. That's what the stoppage of play on the field is about. It's about the injury. But yeah, Seven McGee is one of the guys that they usually, one of the main guys, and he's been pretty quiet today.
Yeah, he's a guy that's usually moving around quite a bit, and they give him the ball, and he does a lot of great things with it. But Steven's still the big dog right now at 95. But McCray, 5 catches, 84 yards, 16.8 a catch. That's a pretty good day by him.
Yeah, and we need to mention also Jackson State playing without a couple of their star players. Irv Mulligan out. He was in a walking boot earlier this week. Got it off, did a little jogging, but he wasn't ready to go yet. And Rico Powers also out for this game. And on the other side, Maurice Lloyd and Javon Williams not playing for Arkansas Pine Bluff. So it's that time of year where you're going to have people with some bumps and bruises.
Yeah, and trying to keep people healthy is always tough this time of year. But I will say this, watching J.D. Martin today, number 8 for the Tigers, he's been, you know, this may be the opening that he was looking for. And then I was expecting Moultrie to play a little bit better. He hasn't seemed to let it loose. But Martin has shown, you know, good rushing ability and also the way to catch the ball out of the backfield. So maybe the tandem of him and Mulligan, when they get back, that can be a new twist in their offense.
Well, let's call it 2nd and 1 now as they reshuffled everything. It's going to be 2nd and 1 to go for the first down for Jackson State. We haven't seen Ahmad Miller much in this game, and he's been impressive also. And as we come now to the end of the third quarter, as Morgan let the clock ticks down, that is the end of the third quarter. Jackson State out in front, 26-14. But so far, that third quarter, I guess if you were grading quarters, that one would go to Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, it sure would. They found a way to get things rolling, and we'll see if they can put together a fourth quarter like this.
Not too much has changed with the other scores. No, I take that back. Alabama State has scored again, 24. Alabama A&M 14. Alabama State wins. FAMU wins. The SWAC West, SWAC East is over. FAMU wins the SWAC East. If the scores remain the same right now, still 14-7. They're going into halftime. Fairview and FAMU. Southern North Texas, Southern has scored. Port Valley, better luck next year. And Pine Bluff, you ain't got nothing to lose. You better play it like this. Your every game is your Super Bowl. So they actually outscored Jackson State, but they outgained them on the ground and they won over the turnover battles. Hey man, I don't know. That interception didn't hurt them. It was that first drive of the third quarter that hurt Jackson State. So we'll see. It's going to come down to, honestly, if Jackson State can hold on to the football, if they go down here and score, the game still won't be over with, but it's going to be a lot harder. So we definitely going to be trying to figure out who is Jackson State go-to guy running the ball with all the injuries they got. Well, the quarterback situation is pretty much, I'm not going to say it's settled, but I don't see this guy losing his starting job. You know, you're putting up 26 points in a half, you know, the interceptions, that's going to come. So, other than that, if Prairie View, if they don't, because see, Florida A&M gets strong in the fourth quarter. That's why nobody can beat them. So if Prairie View does not capitalize right now, this is crazy, man. Because I don't see FAMU beating North Carolina Central in the Celebration Bowl, because it'll take them too long to get off playing right. Yes, in North Carolina Central, they actually got a quarterback, which is probably the best quarterback in the HBCU. So I don't see him losing.
We are all set to get the fourth quarter underway here. Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas with you. And boy, so far Jackson State is led, but Arkansas Pine Bluff. How about this? Some razzle dazzle. They tried the flip flicker. It didn't work, so Morgan's gonna be caught. Nope, still on his feet and dropped.
He should have been ran the ball.
So they were trying to hit the big one. It wasn't there. Morgan pulled it down, and you got to credit Arkansas Pine Bluff with some fine defense on that play.
Oh, that's staying home, reading your keys, and doing exactly how your coach. The coaches gotta love that. But what Morgan has to do there, hey, the play is covered. Throw it away. I mean, honestly, right? Either there's a running lane for you or not. Throw it away.
It was only third and second and one. He should have ran and got that first down.
You're going to say, hey,
somebody got to talk to that kid. You can't get it all in one play.
Third downs, Jackson State 6 of 11, but Pine Bluff 1 of 8. So Jackson State's been pretty good on third down. This is the third and short, and they go to Martin. Martin slipped down, and he did not get it.
What
he
is
was
the
going
problem?
to get there
Run
easily,
the ball, man.
And he lost his footing in the backfield. He slipped down, and so the Arkansas Pine Bluff defense comes up with a big stop.
Yeah, that was a case of crazy legs, it looks like right here. Trying to make a move, and he slipped right on that turf right there. And you can see it's darker. It's been raining here, and he tried to make that cut, and his foot just slipped right from out underneath him. And I guarantee there's no one more frustrated than him after that play, because he's been running really well.
Jackson State
that may end up being a big play in this ball game, because he has been running well. He was coming to the outside, would have gotten it, but he slipped. And so the punt away by Matt Knoll is going to bounce and go out of bounds right around the 12-yard line. So that is where Pine Bluff will get the ball, 1st and 10 again. When we come back, the Golden Lions will have the football, and they'll be trying to put some points on the board.
When you join the HBCU family, you become part of the tradition of breaking barriers in your community, breaking ground in your career, and bringing it with everything you do. From how you look to how you move in the classroom, on the court, and on the field. That's why Academy Sports and Outdoors is proud to celebrate the HBCU legacy and all those to add to it in their own way.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one.
All right, Texas Southern has scored a field goal. It's 3.
Because the best way to honor our history,
quarter with 11 minutes left.
Make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the initiatives of Black leaders seeking to drive real change. And And this year, Doritos Solid Black is welcoming 16 new change makers to the program. We are Solid Black.
Final at Alcorn 24, Valley 3.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of
It's
collegiate
still a
athletics,
two-possession
the
game, yeah, but
Southwestern
it's too
Athletic
close, man.
Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our
Boom, Grambling
intercollegiate
still
sports
stuck
activities for student
14-21,
athletes
Grambling winning.
and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
In case you weren't with us earlier, Leilani Armenta from Venice, California. Of course, she plays for Jackson State, became the first woman in the history of HBCU football to actually
get some points.
Get a point in a football game. How about that? She kicked an extra point in this game earlier today, so congratulations to her for that. That was outstanding. Leilani Armenta, who actually was the first woman to play in an HBCU SWAC game earlier this year.
I want to guess
she
she
kicked
played
off, and
linebacker.
today she kicked the extra point. So now we pick up Pine Bluff on offense. And it's
One and
Edwards
all.
going way downfield, and he had
got
a guy.
it.
There was some contact there.
Oh,
so far no flag.
He got away with that. That was pass
Damon
interference.
Dawkins wanted
There
to
it
call,
is.
and here comes the flag. So
Yeah.
Dawkins was asking for it.
He got it.
Couldn't understand where it wasn't thrown, but let's
wrapped
take
him
another
around
look.
the damn
Yeah, I think they caught him by his hip. Watch when he dives back in for the ball. He grabs his hip right there, although that ball's a little bit away. Guthrie kind of grabbed him by that hip. I think that's a good call. Although,
Well, they must have waved it off.
I don't know.
Because we're back to live action, and they go to the run, do the Golden Lions.
Somebody need to explain.
So that was a big play. You know, Dawkins may have stopped running on that play, and Edwards kind of let him, deep with that. But now we got a third down and about 5 yards to keep this drive going for the Golden Lions.
Don't worry, Jackson State ain't got no linebackers, man.
because I mean, they can get a drive going and get some points. I mean, this 26-14 game. I mean, there's time.
You know, they were trying to have a pink out day, but all the rain before the game kind of washed all that stuff out. I mean, it was,
Somebody need to call
had a lot of
timeout.
stuff
It's
going
all
on, and now you can have a timeout on the field to talk about things a little bit as you see both teams jogging over to the sideline. Give me some of your thoughts on Chancellor Edwards and the job he's done today. You know, we talked a little bit about Morgan, but Edwards came in this game, second start of the year for Edwards.
Well, you know, I mean, he had some inconsistencies earlier, but I mean, I think his decision making has actually been pretty solid. I think it's always hard. You know, he alternates with Higgins, and you're going back and in and out.
It ain't
That's
enough people
always
that
tough to
do
do.
a
But he's
rip.
14-23 right now, 60% passing, that's certainly good. But again, just 78 yards passing, that's not what you want out of your quarterback. You need to find a way to get the ball down the field, and that's something you mentioned earlier, right? His arm strength's not particularly super exciting, so that means his decision making has to be that much better, and he's got to pull the trigger quick.
So a big 3rd and 5 for Chance Edwards and the Arkansas Pine Bluff offense, as they started in a big hole on this drive after the punt. Third and 5. Edwards down the sideline
Got him
again, and that one's going to be incomplete.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm surprised they didn't go back to that Donald Johnson underneath play and pick up the 5 yards and run with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think their big success has been guys on slants or on the move and just put it in front of them and let them make the first tackle or miss. That's when they had the run of having some good success, and they've just kind of gone away from that a little bit.
Well, they have, but now with the ball deep in their own territory, they will have to punt the football away, so they'll call on Jeremy Baker to come out and kick the football. Gets his kick away, had plenty of time, and he sends Seven McGee back to like his 31-yard line. And he gets back close to the 40. Let's call it the 39 on the return for Jackson State.
That's still the most dangerous
So we're
position
26-14.
in
That was
the
Miller on the
playing
return.
football.
We'll be back
A punt
in
return.
just a minute.
Good luck, man. All right. Third quarter, 4 minutes, 46 seconds left. Bethune-Cookman 14, Grambling 21. Fourth quarter, Jackson State 26, Arkansas Pine Bluff 14 with 12 minutes left. Third quarter, 2 minutes, 50 seconds left. Alabama 14, Alabama A&M 14, Alabama State 24. Final, Valley 3, Alcorn 24. Second quarter, 10 minutes, 32 seconds remaining. Texas Southern 3, Southern 7. Halftime, Perry View 7, FAMU 21. It's looking like FAMU about to wrap up the SWAC East today. Because Alabama A&M, I'm sitting here looking at this game, look like they're going backwards. So, hey man, the West, Southern has to win. But all of them have to win. It's no error down there. Because Grambling would be 3-2 in the. Oh, Perry View would be the one on the outside looking in then. Yeah, so if Southern wins, Grambling win, Alcorn won. So hell, if Alcorn and Southern win, they still tied. They'd be both 4-1. And Grambling will move to 3-2. Perry View would actually be hurt.
SWAC football on ESPN is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SWAC. Home Depot, proud sponsor of the SWAC, and by Nike. Tigers on the attack, and they give the ball to J.D. Martin, and he goes off tackle, picks up a couple before he's upended right there. And they go quickly to the line. Got 12 minutes to go in this ball game. Jackson State still clinging to that 26-14 lead. Morgan throws underneath, has Hagler. Hagler's probably had his best day as a Tiger so far. He's made several catches.
Yeah, and they've been tough yards, but he comes back and very physical once he gets the ball, but is making sure he's all hands catch. He's not letting it get to his body. And again, you can also
they stop them right here. They got to punt the ball right back.
Right, they're slowing this game down, letting the clock be their friend.
Yeah, and this is where Morgan can be such a valuable quarterback because of his running ability. Passes that one underneath, goes to the underneath guy, which is Kobe Paul.
I don't think he got it.
Yeah, Morgan hasn't really used his wheels today. I mean, just 3 yards, 24 yards, but with sacks in there.
I don't understand why you dual threat quarterbacks try to be pocket
I'm sure
pass.
Coach is quite happy with that. He doesn't want to have to rely on him running. And again, when he runs, it should be very strategic and well designed.
First and 10 now for the Tigers. And they go to Martin. Martin has a big hole. And he explodes through that hole for about 7, call it 8 yards on the carry.
Martin, you ran right into your blocker.
Yeah, he wants to make up for that little slip just moments ago. As a player, you remember that play you didn't make. And you try to make up for it.
This time, Morgan looking upstairs, has a man open underneath, and he couldn't quite hang on to it. Fabian McCray reached behind him, had to reach behind for the football, tried to bring it in, and the contact came at the exact same time from Kyle Knox, and in return, it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, but Kyle Knox, I'll tell you, when he looks at this tape, he's going to, man, I could have intercepted it. He's so busy trying to beat him up. That ball was hit him and bounced out. If Knox was going for the ball, he probably would have had an interception. But he dropped some pain on him instead.
Knox, maybe the best defensive back on this Arkansas Pine Bluff team, according to his coach.
Straight run it.
Time,
There you
Morgan
go.
on the keeper. And Morgan done a good job as he slides down just shy of the 30-yard line.
He got away with a
I
hold.
guess that's what I was talking about.
That
And at
left
this
guard
time of
held,
the game, we're just about under 10 minutes to go in the game. From what we've seen from him so far this year, he has excelled in those short yardage situations and the ability to run the football and keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and again, but kind of one of those things. Now that you're the starter, the runs that you were making as a backup, they'd rather you not make those as a backup, as a starter.
So 9:43 to go, and pressure. Morgan down the sideline with a strike, and it's a touchdown in the end zone. Jacobian Morgan to Fabian McCray. McCray's second touchdown of the year.
Wow.
Beautiful catch in the end zone. Great catch and throw.
That was a great
throw. Right on
Great
target.
route
And that
running.
puts McCray over 100 yards.
Great throw.
Receiving
Great
on that one. And
catch.
watch, just right
Look at
there
that.
in the bucket.
Bam.
McCray makes that adjustment right at the end to come back to the ball. And then he stands there, gets a
beat
little
that
muscle
one, man.
flex at the end. Again, great catch by him. He was at 104 yards before that catch.
So Leilani Armenta back on again for her second extra point attempt. This time it might have been, no, the guy almost blocked it, but it's good. She got it up and through. Good pressure on it. And hey, it worked out a little celebration already.
She dancing. Go
That's
ahead, girl.
fantastic. That is fantastic.
How about it? Her second extra point of the game, 33-14,
Hey,
Jackson
this up.
State.
Damn. Oh, wow. All right. Nothing has changed with the scores. After this game is over, I'm going to switch over to the Texas Southern and Southern University. I think they playing on I gotta find the channel, but no, it'll be the Alabama A&M Alabama State game. And then I'll switch over to Texas Southern after that Alabama A&M and Alabama State game. Yeah, because the ESPNU, the last time I live stream on there, they took my whole live down. It's all good. That's not my audio. That's ESPN Plus audio. Not like cats.
Welcome back, everyone. Arkansas Pine Bluff getting set to get the football after that last drive by the Jackson State Tigers. It culminated in a touchdown pass from Jacobian Morgan to Fabian McCray, 32 yards for that touchdown, and it gives them that 33-14 lead right now with the Tigers as Arkansas Pine Bluff takes over the football. So we saw a lot of celebrating going on that Jackson State sideline, and it's not so much about the game, it's just as much about their young kicker, Leilani Armenta, also, who's in and kicked her second extra point. And now we pick up the Golden Lions with the football, and here comes the pressure, and down goes the quarterback under the heat.
Talking about Leilani Armenta, those things are just, you can feel when moments happen, right? It's a moment, it's something different. And again, to watch the whole team, you see all the everybody involved in the organization, and people who are passing out water, who are trainers and all that stuff, they're coming over to her, high-fiving her. The head coach is high-fiving. She made sure she caught a head. Those type of things, it's a whole organization and a whole team. Brings people together because it's something special that's happening.
So Makai Hagen's in at quarterback now, looking at a 2nd and 15 after that loss, and that one is picked off by the Jackson State Tigers. How about that? Talk about how you break onto the football. A great interception over there. Looked like Jaheim Hazel, number 3, and that's who it was.
On the sideline.
With a great interception. He read that play all the way, broke on it, and made the pick.
Yeah, I was going to say they were going to try that little quick hitch, and then no hitch and go, and it was all go for defense there for sure. But again, that's just a great read, being aggressive. And again, that's one thing the Tigers are. I mean, you have to know this defense is aggressive from start to finish.
Well, it's just amazing, the big plays. And that's why we had that quote from TC earlier, where he tells his offensive team, you guys just need to relax. The guys on defense will give you extra opportunities, and you will have those extra opportunities to take advantage of. So they come around with the reverse this time in a fine defensive play. Arkansas Pine Bluff still fighting hard out there on defense.
Yeah, Sean Wilson looks like number 33. I believe he made the tackle, but it was a hard hit right on that. It looks like he hit the thigh, and it just spun his body around as he hit him.
Jonas Portillon, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Jonas Portillon on the carry for the Tigers from Jackson State.
Wilson's laying on the ground after that tackle. So they're going to attend to him and see how he is here.
This has been a tough physical game, and it started from the point. And we see Jason Brown there on your screen right there in the center. He's the former starting quarterback. Morgan moved into the position 2 weeks ago, and talking to Coach T.C. Taylor about it, he said, Jason's been around a lot. I told him I just wanted to shake things up to get a different spark, to try to give the team a spark. And he said he's such a veteran. He may not have liked it, but he understood what we were doing, and he's doing his job, and he's doing everything he can to help the Tigers win.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Maurice Harris said basically the same thing, and they go, how did you tell him? I just told him like it was. We need a spark. Here we go. He goes, Brown wants to be a coach someday, so he understood. He said he took it like he's supposed to, and great teammate, and we move forward.
And he's been cheering everybody on, which is what you love to see on your team. So 2nd and 7 now for the Tigers. They go to Martin. Martin has a huge hole, and he's finally tripped up right at about the 3-yard line. But he just exploded through that hole. He's shown a lot of quickness. That young man has fresh legs, and you can tell.
Yeah, he's finally feeling healthy and good, so he's trying to show the coaches, I'm a weapon. Let's plan some stuff for me. That's basically what he's showing me.
So now you can see things slowing down on the offensive end for Jackson State. You talked about that earlier. 3rd and 4 now. Morton looking into the end zone, and a miscommunication between he and his receiver.
I don't understand that.
As Morgan was going to the back flag, and McCray kind of squared it out. So that'll bring up a 4th down. A 2nd down now. 3rd down. Should be 3rd down.
Man, it's 2nd down.
Now they've switched it as 2nd down on the scoreboard. So 2nd and 4.
I'm about to say that.
As Morgan comes back.
You got to run that man on 1st and 2nd.
And now we have a timeout on the field, and everybody wants to get this straight. As they're walking off, and that's the thing about Jackson State. You'll be rolling along in the game, and you saw Arkansas Pine Bluff take the football, go all the way down the score to start the 3rd quarter. Looked like they had the momentum. They get a turnover. They come right back, and then they don't do anything with it. And just like you flip a light switch, Jackson State went bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, and Coach T.C. Taylor said when we just do our thing, this team's pretty special. We've got some really good athletes. We feel like we can out-athlete the players we're at. And Stevens, man, he's had a huge day today. Again, really just 2 catches, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's all he does. If it's not worth a touchdown, he doesn't want to touch it, apparently. Let's see if they go to him here, because it'd be a nice way to round out the
run the ball.
Today, huh?
Take the trifecta. They put the Miller in motion, and they the pass is to Miller, and there it is. DJ Stevens with the touchdown, the trifecta. He hits it. He's in for the touchdoam.
We were just saying that, so I guess he gets it with a hat trick, I guess, if it's in hockey.
Yeah, Jacobian got me with the fake. That was a good fake.
It was. And again, it faked you out, but that defense had to respect that and watch them. Just watch that defense right there. They all suck in, and then they go, oh. You can't really see the result there. But, yeah, just great job. Nice play riding into the last second, popping it over the top.
So 3 catches and 3 touchdowns. And now we have Arminta trying to get her 3rd extra point in the game. And this one is good also. So she got that one through the right side, right next to the uprights. And she's either picking up helmets, too, out there. Man.
Ain't that something?
What a day. They're having fun with it. 40-14, Jackson State out in front. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. The last 7 minutes and 29 seconds.
Ain't that something? She got 3 points in her college football career. You go, girl. Ain't nobody hating. It does not look like anything is changed for scoring wise. But I don't see Alabama A&M coming back. But then again, Alabama State does play horrible in the fourth quarter. But they only down 10, but hey man, Miles ran all over them. But then again, they stunned Jackson State, so who knows with Alabama State. And then, it's homecoming at FAMU. They want to be extra bougie asses. And then Southern and Texas Southern still the same. And Bethune and Grambling is still the same.
Well, it's been a rainy afternoon in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, but as you can see, Jackson State 40-14. It hasn't rained on the Tigers parade as yet in this ball game.
Tell you what, there's some road warriors. They've been on the road a lot this season.
They have,
and they talked about it. And they also said they found this comfort in being outside and being the guy fighting from the outside.
Yeah, you're right. Coach T.C. Taylor said he wished they could start playing better at home because they're doing so good on the road. And so here come the Golden Lions on the return, and it's brought all the way back over the 30-yard line, maybe up to the 32-yard line. And a little pushing and shoving going on down there, but no harm, no foul. And now we will see, and it's Chancellor Edwards coming back in at quarterback, Chancellor Edwards, the 6'3", 205 sophomore.
Yeah, right here, they're just looking for some execution, right? At the end of the day, execute, right? We're going to call these plays, guys, execute it, run it. I mean, the game is certainly out of reach, unless something really crazy happens. But execute, right? Run your plays, run them well. And then who can keep their head and keep their focus in a game like this?
Well, head coach Alonzo Hampton said it himself. Every game is a learning experience for his team, and they'll learn something out of today as they hand off to Rogers. Rogers around the right side is going to pick up 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, Jamil Hazel came in and made sure he wasn't going to go to the outside, made him turn in, didn't really give him a lot to go at right there. So good defense. That's the thing about the Tigers defense. Very disciplined. They play their positions. They hold their ground. Team tackling a ton.
Yeah, it's hard to find enough adjectives to describe the job they have done. I mean, they really, really get after people from the defensive end. I mean, and they have a lot of guys, a lot of talent on that defensive side of the football. And so the Pine Bluff Golden Lions on the attack again, and they're going to pick up the first down running the football.
That was just a well-timed play because the blitz was coming from that the offensive right side. It was coming right through the right side. They were running off the in between the guard and tackle on the left side. So it was a well-timed play against the blitz.
That's Rogers again. He's been impressive. He's gotten most of the totes here in the second half. 1st and 10 for the Golden Lions. We're down to 6 minutes to go in this ball game.
He's got 40 yards.
And he goes to Rogers again, and that's straight ahead for about 3. So Rogers is a big guy, 6 foot, 210 pounds, sophomore from Mobile. He's actually a running back when he came to Pine Bluff, and then they moved him to linebacker the first year, when Alonzo Hampton first got there. And then he said, hey, wait a minute, we got linebacker. They put him back at running back, and man, it's been a great move. Great move for him and for the team.
What would they be doing without him today? I can tell you that.
This time he's going to pass it, and it's behind his intended receiver, but the catch is made. Number 85 on the catch. That's Kevin English hauling that one in. Can you guess what Rogers' nickname is? Kind of fits his running style a little bit. Deuce. Deuce Rogers. Got a nice ring to it. 8 of 14 on 3rd downs for Jackson State, but that may be the biggest stat of the game. 1 for 9 in 3rd down conversions for the Golden Lions.
Yeah, that's not good for anybody.
So Deuce is caught and knocked down in the backfield. Antonio Doyle Jr. is back there with the kiss of death on that one.
Doyle Jr. having another good game as well as Peppers on the defensive side for Jackson State.
Yeah, Doyle, a transfer from Texas A&M, has 3.5 tackles for loss this year. Make it 4. He also has 3 sacks on the year. So you're right. He's off to a fine year for Jackson State.
Peppers, 10 tackles today, 3 for loss.
Always active. 4th down and 5 coming up now for Pine Bluff. Dumps underneath. That's going to be the first down to Johnson as he dives forward and rolls out of bounds. Donald Johnson, the 3rd, on the catch and run for the first down. He's a transfer from Grambling. We remembered him from Grambling. He was a return man at Grambling. Did a good job for the Tigers.
He's an electric player. You get him out in the open. He's done the plays they put in for him this week have been really nice, and they've been kind of drag routes or moving him in and out, giving him some room to run.
It's another first down. And so Edwards on the roll to the right, and he's going to just step out of bounds. And he slid into the bench. Wow, he lost his footing. He slid into the bench, and then one of the defensive players also slid underneath the bench.
Wow.
Some of the dangers of a slick field.
True, but that's where right there, just throw it out. Just throw it out of bounds. Right? You basically ran to right where the sticks were anyway. Just throw it out.
Yeah, you saw DJ Stevens there with some great sportsmanship, tried to hold him up and avoid that big stick there on the bench.
Yeah, no, that's dangerous for sure.
So this crowd is still into it. The crowd that's left, I mean, they're still into it a little bit.
I think they're cheering for the future. They're really seeing what's happening. Again, if you're not familiar with the Golden Lions, I mean, you can see that they're growing something.
Yeah, and we were just talking during the break, just to let you guys at home in on our conversation during the break. I said, man, it'd be great to see this program as it improves. And you see 2 years from now and just see what has happened, because I don't know if I've talked to a more positive coach than Alonzo Hampton.
Right. And it's so funny to me that really culture matters, right? Character matters. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care what you're about. It matters. And they're building a culture. They're having a certain way. They want certain kind of players with character that are going to play the right way. They're going to buy into what they're selling. Again, any great organization of any kind, it's about getting your team to buy into what you're doing so they can execute whatever that plan is. And again, right now, this is the buy-in. And again, in your worst days is where you find out where your teammates, either they're guys that will fight through anything or they're quitters, right? They'll quit on you. And you find a lot of that out in games like this.
Rolando Jones helped off the field there. And now it's time for us to check out our player of the game. Tonight's player of the game is presented by Gatorade. And guess what? It's number 15. You know him, Jacobian Morgan. I mean, he was a big factor today. Look at those numbers. 26 out of 36, 373 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. He did have the 1 pick, but the 5 touchdowns were really impressive. And you know what, Jorge? This was only his second start. And I think head coach T.C. Taylor is going to be ecstatic about what he saw today from his big quarterback.
Well, it's funny you say going to be. He is ecstatic. Right. He is ecstatic. I mean, 72% passing. That right there is special. And again, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 receivers he's thrown the ball to, right? So that means he's not just finding one guy and getting lucky. He is looking around, distributing the ball well.
Well, he was looking forward to seeing him pass the football today because he felt like he may have missed a couple last week. May have been just a little off on a couple last week, but he was on target today. And, man, 373 yards. That's a couple of games.
Yeah, and again, I mean, pushing 400 yards, that's pretty daggone special right there.
So we have 1:37 on the field. We also have a timeout. As the two teams are going to visit for a little bit and kind of regroup. And but just to let you finish your thought on Pine Bluff, they're trying to build something there. And it's hard to build a football team overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time. But Alonzo Hampton is so positive. He feels like it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, I think the alumni feel that, right? I mean, it's one thing we got this new coach. What do you think about it? If you just walk around in his presence anywhere in his sphere, you're going to feel it, and you're going to say, okay, this man is about it. And again, players, once they buy in, you got a couple of years to check it out, and then you'll see where they're at. I think they're going to have some success.
4th down and 13 now for the Golden Lions. And Edwards is going to be caught and thrown to the turf as he goes down hard. That is number 98 on the stop for Jackson State.
Tyus Clark.
Tyus getting in there, making a big play. 6'4", 330-pound junior. Actually played a little bit at Colorado. Transferred in from Colorado, coming up with a big play.
He was the guy going the other way, right? All the players moving around. That's his 4th tackle of the day.
Yeah, they had him coming and going over at Colorado. And so with the clock going down to the 1:10 mark, now it's started again. They're going to just take a knee, and this ball game is done. So, I mean, Jackson State had to be the favorite coming in, but this Arkansas Pine Bluff team played strong, and it was a competitive ball game.
Yeah. Again, the score won't really indicate it. People just glancing at the score, but there were certainly some positive things to look at. Again, they'll retool. They'll keep growing and then add to their talent level, and we'll see where it heads.
T.C. Taylor's team will improve to 6-3 overall, 4-2 in SWAC play though. So they're going to need some help though. If they're going to try to catch up with Florida A&M, they're going to need a lot of help.
Yeah, they sure are, because Florida A&M is a beast, right, for sure.
On the other side, as we tick down to the final seconds of this game, Arkansas Pine Bluff will improve to 1-7, 0-5 in SWAC play. You see the two coaches there. 2 first-year coaches. How about that? That's an interesting thing. 2 young guys, first-year coaches.
T.C. Taylor, just, what I love about talking to him is that he loves it. He played at Jackson State. He loves what's happening.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. It is over 40-14. Jackson State is a winner. Let me get you to put a bow on this thing.
You are not related. There's no ancestry connecting you. But look how similar you are. You work at it. You keep going. You may not be brothers and sisters, but if tough were a gene, you would be.
Tourists. Tourists that turn into scientists. Tourists taking photos that are analyzed by AI. So researchers can help life underwater flourish.
You look like a flower, so sweet today. You look like a flower, each and every way. You look like a flower.
Etsy has home, style, gifts. Etsy has it.
Shop Kohl's for a head start on gifting. Get a Sephora set for $49. Women's sweaters starting at $24.99. And save on a Ninja pressure cooker. Then take 20% off other finds. $10 off $50 spent and earn Kohl's cash. Kohl's.
I have a personal stylist, and you can too. My Stitch Fix online stylist really gets me. I share my style, size, and budget, and they do the shopping. How I want, when I want. Updating my wardrobe is so easy. My stylist sends me the most amazing pieces, unique brands and styles I never would have tried on my own. I keep what I love and send back the rest. No subscription required, no commitment, just my style. Stitch Fix.
All right, 24-14 our score, Alabama State. And Ken, here's what's happened. Of course, Scarborough had a flag thrown on him, and targeting has been the call. And of course, they're reviewing this now.
Yeah, so with targeting, and I think the officials call the targeting because it allows them a chance to review the entire play. I thought it could have been a personal foul because he did lead his shoulder into the receiver. I don't think it was targeting because he did not lead with his head. He did not lead with the crown of the helmet, and I don't think he hit the receiver in the helmet. So I expect the targeting to be reversed, but I expect the penalty to stay.
And so we'll get the call here from the official. Because I really didn't see the target.
After further review, there is no targeting on the play. Third down.
And it also negates a personal foul penalty as well.
Yeah, so the penalty and the targeting will be removed. So they deemed it incidental contact. It will be third down for A&M, still trailing by 10. Still a lot of time remaining in this football game. But they need a big conversion here. They're really in two-down territory at the 33-yard line.
Well, for A&M, that was, or I should say for Alabama State, that was a big, big call because Scarborough, that was your starting defensive back if you would have been lost. And then, of course, he'd have been lost for the next game that they would have had, and that would have been against Grambling in Mobile next week. Langford on the run, fumbles the football, and let's see who comes away with the football. It looks like it'll be Alabama State football.
And guess who comes up with the rock?
Field is a fumble recovered by Alabama State.
Amon Scarborough comes up with a fumble on the play.
The guy we just talked about that was initially called for targeting but had it removed. Now he comes up with the pigskin and a big turnover as Langford on the keeper gets popped right there, and the football comes free. And a huge turnover for Alabama State's defense.
Well, that is a huge play. And Scarborough, not only did he pick up a fumble, but he also has an interception from earlier in the day as well. So he's had a big ball game. Here is the give as Alabama State will start pounding the ball away. And if you're the Hornets, one of the things that you are telling your guys, especially running the football, these guys are going to try and snatch the football out of your hands.
Yeah, you have to secure the football. We saw Billingsley for Alabama A&M earlier, first possession of the second half, get a strip fumble against one of the wide receivers for Alabama State. So you're running into that bulldog den, and you better have two hands on the rock.
I bring up second down here and more shifting for Alabama A&M. Big run here by the Hornets. Jawan Howell gets across midfield and a big first down for Alabama State.
Watch the double team block at the point of attack on 93, and that opens up the hole. Jordan Mitchell can't get there to make the tackle, and then a nice run by Howell, breaking a couple of tackles at the second level to take the football across midfield.
Damon Stewart now with a fresh set of downs for Alabama State. And here's the run again. Alabama State, Howell on the carry. And he gets down to about the 41-yard line.
And again, Roar running through the tackle of Jordan Mitchell, the leading tackler for Alabama A&M. But Howell on back-to-back plays, avoiding Mitchell and picking up nice yardage. Picks up about 7 to be second down and 3. And Alabama A&M coming into this ball game, they said their magic number was 21 points. If they could hold Alabama State under 21 points, they felt like they had a good chance to win the ball game today. Alabama State has only scored over 20 points once all season, and that was 2 weeks ago against Jackson State when they scored 24, and they have 24 again here this afternoon. But 14 of those points have come on special teams, not on offense.
Howell down to the 20 or 36-yard line. And you see what Alabama State is doing now. You see that clock just ticking. If you're A&M, you got to have 2 scores here. That turnover was huge.
Well, you're Alabama State, and offensive coordinator Henry Williams, he's going to have Stewart drain every possible second of that play clock before he snaps it.
Here's the give once again to Howell. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. And all they're doing right now is just playing the clock. And they're inside of the Alabama A&M 40-yard line, so it's even more difficult here because now you have to start thinking about if you're A&M, you want to come up with a big defensive play to try to take them out of field goal range. Field goal here really puts you in a bad situation because now you got to come up with 2 touchdowns.
And even if you're Alabama State from this vantage point, you may say you're in 2-down territory because you're not going to punt the football from here if you get into a 4th and long situation.
Big defensive play there by Alabama A&M. Marcus Harris II, the redshirt sophomore from Jackson, on the carry.
Timeout. Alabama A&M.
And now you can start to feel the sense of urgency with that timeout here taken here on third down. And this is where it gets really big here for A&M. Alabama State gets a first down.
Please
you are
reset
in
the clock
big
to
trouble if they get a first down. Here are the SWAC standings presented by GM. And on the eastern side, with a win here, Florida A&M, they can probably wrap up the Eastern Division. Jackson State 3-2, A&M with 2-2. One of those two teams needs to win just to have a chance. A&M is in the driver's seat on that one. In the West, Southern 3-1, Alcorn 3-1, Prairie 3-1, Grambling. Hopefully, if they can win today, goes to 3-2. If not, they'll be out.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as this ball game here, you know, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, one of these teams is going to go to 3-2 on the season. Jackson State won their ball game this afternoon, so they moved to 4-2 in sole possession of second place for now. But you have two teams with two losses behind Florida A&M, depending on who comes out on top here in this 82nd Magic City Classic. And right now it's looking like Alabama State. But A&M, they have an opportunity to come in with a big third down stop.
A&M next week at home against Florida A&M. How big will that game be? Here is the long shot by Stewart going downfield, complete. First down, Alabama State. And that goes to the tight end, McCray Arrington.
Play fake. Oh, they got away with a hole there. A handful of jersey, but the officials didn't see it. And Stewart with a big bomb down the far sideline. And it's going to be first and goal for Alabama State. But Jace Medlock, the tight end, got away with a jersey pull. But Alabama State is going to have first and goal inside the 10.
That might have been Arrington's first catch this season, and it's a touchdown for Alabama State. Jawan Howell gets into the end zone, and that may seal it here in the 82nd edition of the Magic City Classic. Still 5:02 remaining and a timeout, but now 30-14 makes this a much tougher ball game. The extra point could put them up 3 scores.
That's gay.